Your home for the NFL. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The Houston Texans are down to 2 unsigned draft picks. They've signed 7 of their 9. They officially begin rookie minicamps today that will run through the weekend. The NFL schedule releases Wednesday night, May 14th, but we're going to have some leaks before that. Monday on NBC, Fox, and Prime, then Tuesday on ESPN and Good Morning America, and then the morning of the schedule release, Wednesday morning, CBS Mornings and Netflix.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Friday afternoon.
We made it.
We have made it.
Friday is here.
Friday is here.
How about that?
Been here all day.
Happy Friday, everybody.
It is for most people. Unless, of course, you stole scissors at the Thai Hut restaurant on 1604. It's the damnedest story that I'm just reading. I saw this on Twitter from the Express News. Now, you see the headline and you go, what? Headline in the Express News. Let me go back to the tweet. The tweet, officer shoots, critically injures man at Thai restaurant in Northeast after stealing scissors.
Scissors at a Thai restaurant.
It turns out they called the cops because the dude stole the scissors. There was a little standoff, and according to Chief McManus, he attacked him, tried pepper spray. That didn't work, and now he's critically injured after a bullet did.
Okay, I'm just curious. I'm not the smartest guy on the planet, but you go to the Thai restaurant to steal scissors. What, I mean, you don't go to Office Depot or, I don't know, Walmart, or you go to a Thai restaurant to steal scissors.
I doesn't say if he ordered anything.
Must be schwanky scissors.
I've been to the Thai Hut. Food's great. He allegedly stole a pair of scissors from the restaurant. After leaving the scene, the suspect was located by the responding officer. The suspect and officer had a brief exchange before the suspect attacked the officer, Chief McManus said. The two continued to struggle, and officer then attempted to use pepper spray. McManus, quote, it did not work.
Oh, wow.
Suspect then tried to grab the officer's firearm, prompting the officer to fire 2 shots, hitting the man, according to McManus.
Now, when you say critically injured, is he dead?
No, not yet. He was transported to the hospital in critical condition, is currently undergoing surgery, according to the police chief.
All right.
The officer has been with the department 24 or 25 years.
Scissors at a Thai restaurant.
My thought first is, wow, they actually responded to somebody stole my scissors call.
That must be some damn good scissors. I'm going to tell you that. Wow. Scissors, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could have grabbed a fortune cookie or something on your way out.
You know, maybe he didn't like what the fortune said.
Maybe scissors.
Although now I am curious. I hope SAPD investigates what was inside the fortune cookie. What was the fortune? Because that's kind of bizarre.
Well, you will be spending years in confinement after surgery, Confucius say. Although it's a Thai Hut. Do they actually have fortune cookies there?
I think so.
I don't know.
Are you a big fortune cookie guy?
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I read them.
I mean, but if you don't read one, do you care?
Not really.
Right?
But it's kind of
sure.
cool to read it.
Well, it's always cool to read it, but then there's always a sentence you have to add at the end of it. And it's always better when that sentence is added to said fortune.
Well, one of them's like in bed.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? There's another one. That's,
in between the sheets?
In between. Yeah, but there's even another one.
We just learned one the other day when Payway was here. Below the waist.
Below the waist.
Below the waist.
Yeah.
Wow, we just learned that one? How did I miss that one? I didn't learn that one the other day.
So I don't know. But I like fortune cookies because then you take a little bite. It tastes like one of those ice cream cones you get at Dairy Queen.
Not quite.
That does.
Not quite.
Well, it does to me.
Sure.
Not quite.
I
what
mean,
the hell?
not quite. I mean, you like ketchup in your gravy. So, I mean, but yeah, it's got that similar. It's not quite the waffle cone. Just saying.
I don't like waffle cones.
You don't like waffle cones?
Not really. I like the regular cone. The waffle ones, yeah, I don't like.
Do you ever get those drumstick ice creams?
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
You like those cones?
Yeah.
All right.
It's a waffle cone.
There you go.
I'm just saying, if I get that, that's fine. But I'm not going to go to Baskin Robbins or I don't even, does Dairy Queen have waffle cones?
No, they just have the sugar cones.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I'm not going to order one.
No.
I'm not going to go out of my way.
No, you don't go out of your way for anything. We learned that yesterday.
Not for a waffle cone.
Not for anything.
No.
You don't go out of your way for anything.
Well, I try not to if I don't have to. Why?
No, because you're lazy?
At times.
At times.
Sure. Depends on what I want and what it is. That shows you how lazy I am or not.
Well, I mean, it's like yesterday's barbecue conversation. You would rather not go try a new place that you've heard about because you're going to pass 6 or 7 places that you do know about that you know are good.
Right. So to me, it made no sense to get in the car and drive all the way downtown, eat some barbecue, and then come back when there's several places along the way. That's
because you're trying something new.
Well, if I'm downtown, I'll try it. But if I'm not heading downtown and just to go there for no reason, I'm not doing it. You do that? You get in the car just for no reason other than to go eat there and then come back home?
Yes.
Really?
For barbecue.
Wow.
There are people out there, Joe, this is going to blow you away.
Probably will.
There are people out there that plan road trips just to go eat barbecue.
Isn't there like a barbecue trail
there
or something?
There is a barbecue trail. Now, you don't really do that for Mexican food. You don't do that for Italian food, but you do for barbecue. And you want to go, and it's a pilgrimage, if you will, to go to that place, eat that place, rate that place, judge it against all the other great barbecue places you've been to, and then you go home, take a nap. Because you should be in a meat coma by then.
I'm just wondering.
Mm-hmm.
And I wake up the next day and forget all about it.
You don't forget all about it.
You do. It's like, what's the point? I mean, seriously, what's the point? Now, if I want to keep that trail and I'm on a road trip somewhere and I say, oh, yeah, that place is right there, let's go there. But I'm not going to get on a trail and start eating barbecue everywhere. To me, it makes no sense. But hey, if you're into that, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what you want to do.
I'm trying to let me find something that might be a little bit more relatable to you. There are golf courses on this planet that you would love to go play.
Sure.
And you would go way out of your way to go play these courses, correct?
It would be part of something else. So it'd be part of, like, I'd love to go to Pebble Beach.
There you go.
It's on the bucket list.
Yeah.
But that would be an entire vacation.
But centered around a golf trip.
Well, and there's a winery there, and
sure, but you're not going out there and being that close to Pebble Beach to go to a winery and not play golf.
No, sure,
right?
So it's a vacation.
It's a vacation, but you are planning a trip around doing something.
Sure.
Yes.
So you plan your vacations by going to barbecue places?
I'm just saying, on a Saturday, what are we doing today? I don't know. Let's drive out to Lockhart and get some Q. Absolutely. Saturday road trip. You do that, but you go play golf.
Sure.
Yeah. And you go play golf and then you go home.
Well, not necessarily.
Well, you might have a drink or two. But
I probably do, and there's a winery.
There's
on the way
a winery
back
there,
home,
but
and so it's a whole adventure.
You could go eat some barbecue, but yes, but the idea of creating that adventure starts with the barbecue joint.
And then what?
And
you
then
eat
what?
Barbecue, and then
and
what?
then you go to
home?
the winery, or you go wherever. It's the
saying.
start of the adventure.
I don't know of any barbecue places around a winery. Do you?
They're within driving distance.
Well, everything's within driving
there
distance.
You go. You just need the reason or excuse to get out of the house.
Minutes.
And get outside of your little bubble.
Here's what I'm going to say. You do you, brother.
Just don't steal scissors, people.
You don't do that at a Thai restaurant.
Any restaurant. Just don't steal scissors. They'll respond to that. To me, might be the the biggest part of that whole story that nobody's talking about. Like, the cop actually tracked this dude down for stealing scissors.
Yeah, I'm kind of baffled by that. But, it is illegal, and the cop was just doing his job. So,
I mean, sure.
I still don't get – I can't wrap my head around stealing scissors from a Thai restaurant. That doesn't compute. I don't know. I don't know what happened. It just doesn't like.
Now I would like to think we've all watched enough cop shows. If this guy attacked the officer, maybe there's something else going on with this guy, which is why the cop was trying to respond. Yes, he stole scissors. Yes, they called the cops on him for stealing scissors, but maybe he was just acting a little nutty. And for his safety, they called the cops. And that's one of the reasons why this just seems so small town. Like, the cops responded to somebody calling the cops because of stolen scissors. Not, hey, a robbery in progress. What'd they steal? Scissors. It?
We got to have there's got to be an investigation into this. Maybe the food was bad.
I've been there. Food's good.
Well, I'm just saying to him it might have been bad. And it might have been, I don't know, he didn't have enough money, and they were arguing. He saw the scissors there. He grabbed them and ran out. There's a story behind it. He didn't just walk in there and steal scissors and leave.
I mean, that's kind of like when they walk out, when you walk out with their pen. Could you imagine them calling the cops? He stole my pen.
Well, I just wonder, was this dude casing the place? Dude, those are the best scissors. I can't find those scissors anywhere. I got to have them.
It's possible. Maybe they were left-handed scissors, and this guy has a problem finding those.
Aren't all scissors left-handed?
No, they could be right-handed.
Well, they're all both handed.
I don't know. I'm just thinking if they're special scissors.
It's a story here. And we need to hear. Now, first of all, I hope the guy's okay. I hope he makes it and he's fine. But
he's a scissor stealer.
Scissors at a Thai restaurant. I can't get past that. I'm like, scissors at a Thai restaurant.
Imagine
that's not exactly what I would think somebody was going to steal.
When he gets down to that maximum security prison in Huntsville, what are you in for? Stole scissors. What?
Yeah.
Stole scissors.
Uh-huh.
Took 2 bullets, too.
Yeah.
Over scissors.
Yeah.
What are you in for? Triple murder.
Damn, I wish I had those scissors now.
Exactly. And you're my roommate, huh?
Yeah.
Man.
Wow. Now, Gilbert on our YouTube page points out there's some mental health folks in that area, I guess. And according to him, I don't know that for a fact, but I trust Gilbert. And maybe the guys.
Well, I'm assuming that there might be some mental reasons, but that doesn't say that in the Express News article. The Express News article says he stole scissors, cops responded, tracked him down, pepper spray didn't work, and the guy got shot twice.
Who's the reporter on that particular story?
On the Express News
I need more
article,
details.
It is by Raul Trey Lopez.
Raul, I need more details, buddy.
Reporter, May 9th. Well, look, I imagine all the news stations are out there because, I mean,
well, they might be.
McManus, there's pictures of him right in front of the restaurant because obviously with an officer-involved shooting, he's going to show up and talk to the media. Happy Friday.
Stealing scissors from a Thai restaurant. I don't. Just doesn't compute.
Well, all right, Barney.
Doesn't compute.
Most things don't.
Well, that doesn't. I mean, if that computes to anybody, please explain it to me. I don't get it.
We need to hear the 911 call. I'd like to report a theft. Well, what'd they steal? A cash register? ATM? Scissors.
Scissors. There was no, I don't know, fried rice or... See, I've never been to a Thai restaurant, so I'm saying this thinking of Chinese food, and I shouldn't do that.
It's similar. I mean, it's a little bit spicier, but they do have, because you're kind of like me, and when I've been in this restaurant, basically their version of beef and broccoli with no broccoli.
But it's similar to Chinese food.
Yes.
Okay.
Although a little bit more noodle-based than rice-based.
Well, I'm not opposed to that.
Yeah. And you would like it because it's spicy as hell, or can be.
Yeah.
Can be.
All right. Well, just Put the scissors away.
I mean, they need to do a better job protecting their scissors.
So this is over off 1604 somewhere? Is that what
Yeah,
you said?
1604 in Bitters.
In Bitters, okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
I think I know where that is.
You know exactly where that is.
I do know where that is. Yeah, okay. All right. Now we're
Yeah.
All right. Never been in there, but I didn't know they had scissors for sale.
They don't have them for sale, which is why the guy stole them.
Yeah, you can get the fried rice, some noodles, or those scissors over there.
Maybe they should just start making it a joke and start selling a line of scissors.
I would.
I mean, capitalize on all this.
That just look, I've never owned a restaurant either. I'm assuming scissors are a necessity.
I imagine, yes.
For something.
At most offices. There's scissors in this building, too.
I've never used scissors since I've been in this building.
You're a liar.
I have not.
You are. Yeah, anytime somebody sends a box, you can borrow your scissors and you open the box.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
you don't cut paper with it, but you use it to open a box.
I guess that's true. Or my keys.
Or your keys.
Scissors at a Thai restaurant. I just that's gonna bug me all day. I don't gotta.
That's what you're hung up on.
I just don't get it.
That there's scissors at a restaurant.
No,
there's scissors at a place of business.
Somebody would steal said scissors at a Thai restaurant. I don't get it.
Would you feel better if they stole the scissors from the sandwich shop in the same shopping center?
No, it would make more sense if they were in, I don't know, H-E-B or Walmart or Office Depot.
A little harder to steal there.
Well, maybe. I mean, now this poor Thai restaurant's got to go buy new scissors.
Yeah.
It's a damn shame.
Well, maybe anybody going there for dinner tonight, with your tip, add your 20% in a pair of scissors.
Should we start a GoFundMe page?
I just think, it's end of school. Your kids are coming home. They don't need those scissors anymore. You're going to get new ones in August. So take your kids' scissors over there and leave them at the restaurant.
And at least those are safety scissors.
A little bit safer. I mean, we have no idea what this guy stole. Were they big scissors, little scissors, regular scissors? Who knows? I mean, there's so many more questions I have that this article doesn't answer.
Yeah, Raul, we need more details, buddy.
If we only knew somebody that worked at the police department. We need to get Nick Solis on the phone. We need more details.
Wow.
What's in the box?
Well, if we had a pair of scissors, we could open it and find out.
Well, I know a place apparently that has some good ones.
Not anymore. They were stolen. Now they're in police evidence.
What's the restaurant's name?
Thai Hut.
Thai Hut. That's it.
It's Friday, people.
It is.
It's one of those days. Perception versus reality. Something we often talk about here.
True.
Perception is George Pickens, penalty machine, can't control his anger. Can't control his temper, gets a lot of flags. We did a little research. And I say we, James Pledger. Let's talk about it. Coming up here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
First, I want to talk about Stevens Roofing. You've heard me talk about Stevens Roofing on the show. If you've listened at any time at all, I love those folks over there. Family-owned company, locally based company, and they're the absolute best in the business. They're going to treat you right. If you hire Stevens Roofing for any kind of roof repair, whether it's a new roof or repair or whatever it is you need, they're going to take care of you and they're going to make sure that you are satisfied before they leave. It's just the best in the business. And this time of year, and we've seen it. We saw it yesterday. The thunderstorms, they've been all over the place. If you think your roof has been damaged by one of these thunderstorms, or it's just time for a new roof, you want to call the best. And not only the best, but you want to call a company that has been in business here in San Antonio and South Texas for many, many years, and they're not going anywhere. That means they'll be there if you need something once that roof is put on. Stevens Roofing, the absolute best. And right now, if you do think there's something wrong with your roof or you just want to get it checked out to make sure that it's okay, they'll send a crew out when you call them at 210-785-0994. They'll give you a free, no-obligation roof inspection. And they'll let you know if they think you need a new roof, or maybe it's just a minor repair, or they may come down and tell you, and you know what, your roof is in great shape. Either way, it's that peace of mind that you need moving forward, whether there's a storm, whether it's sunshine, no matter what it is, just to know that that roof is okay. kind of gives you a good feeling inside. Call Stevens Roofing and Solar. They're the best. You can't go wrong. Give them a call. Why don't you do it now? 210-785-0994.
Looking for a place with character, cold drinks, and real Texas charm? Pull up a chair at the Lion and Rose in the Dominion. This local favorite, run by the Tharp family, serves up Southern hospitality, military pride, and seriously good food. Happy hour daily from 3 till 7 p.m. with $2.50 drafts, select wine, wells, and mimosas. Plus, tasty bites from just $5. Big screens, bold flavors, and a patio made for post-game hangs. Now open at 23330 West I-10. The Lion and Rose.
George gets justice. The accident wasn't your fault, but now you're facing pain, bills, and uncertainty. You don't have to do it alone at George Salinas Injury Lawyers. They listen, explain your options, and fight for what you deserve. No upfront costs, no stress, just real help when you need it. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Huge news. Right now at Wendy's, you can get a Son of Baconator for just $3. I don't think you understand this situation. The Son of Baconator is only $3 for a limited time. You know, smoked bacon, rich melted cheese. That Son of Baconator is only $3. Thank you to whoever wished upon that star. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii, not valid on a combo or on third-party delivery platforms.
It's your captain speaking. To the passenger with the Mirror Fast soft chews, smart move.
No way am I letting travel constipation ruin this trip.
Can't blame you. Mirror Fast works fast, but without the harsh side effects.
Since I'm such a smart traveler, can I move to first class?
No. Close the curtain, Carol.
From the makers of Miralax, new Mirafast soft chews work naturally with your body in as little as 30 minutes to give you a comfortable go on the go. Find Mirafast today at your local retailer. Use as directed for occasional constipation. Contains magnesium hydroxide.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New Trade event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New Trade event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
See you with the full details and disclaimer.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WEALTH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on a Friday afternoon. If you're watching on YouTube, appreciate that. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Lots of comments in there, especially about the incident over at the Thai Hut. And I think Christopher D. might have hit the nail on the head for the need to steal scissors from the Thai Hut. Maybe the guy needed the scissors to cut open his to-go food bag because they tied it too tight.
Don't you hate that?
I do, because you got to go home and use scissors.
You have to do it
because of the knot, and maybe that's it. maybe Christopher is onto something. The most viable of reasons that I have heard.
That could very well be it, because it would take you an hour sometimes if you try to do it yourself.
No, you're just going to rip into that.
You
or
have to.
At home, use your own scissors that you had paid for. And then I think about my neighbor Hal. Nicest guy, never breaks a law. I don't think Hal even speeds. He said he would steal the hot oil from Thai Hut that they use for their pad thai because it's that good.
Well, you see, that makes sense at the Thai Hut to steal their sauce. But scissors? Dude, I'm going to be thinking about that all day. It's nuts.
Yes. Yes, it is. Very bizarre. We'll try to get more details. Or not. Although I'm very interested. Of all the bizarre ways to get shot by the cops, it's because you stole a pair of scissors?
Well, he was running probably at the cop with the scissors.
Yeah, when you hear he was attacked. But, but again, though, you stole scissors, and the cops responded. Right?
Yeah, we need the 911. Or not.
Let's call Nick and see what he can tell us. Nick Solis is the public information officer at San Antonio Police Department. See what you can find out, or I'll text him in a break, but see what you can find out. Produce a little bit. George Pickens, now a member of the Dallas Cowboys, and did a little conference call with the media yesterday, and he did an incredible job of not trashing Pittsburgh at all, because it kind of feels like the divorce was pretty ugly.
Yeah.
And his reputation, kind of thought you might hear some negative things about Pittsburgh, and he wouldn't go there. And he was asked about the public perception of George Pickens.
I can't really, change anyone's opinion. Me personally, I just, like I said, continue to grow. I feel like everybody in the world has to grow. You get older and older as you grow. And like I said, I'm just trying to build a winning culture, which they already have at the Cowboys. I'm just glad to be joining it.
Well, to some extent, I guess they do. They've got a good culture there.
We have established a championship program. It's just not the world championship yet.
But Pittsburgh did too, right? I mean, Pittsburgh's made the playoffs. I don't know. They got a hell of a streak going. They always lose in the first round, but they have made the playoffs.
There. Yeah.
But still, so again, I agree with you. He said all the right things. You don't want to get into it. You don't want to give the media any more fodder, because they go back to Pittsburgh and say, oh, you should have heard what Pickens said yesterday in Dallas about you, and then back and forth. And so he handled it the right way. And he's got to realize that this is a starting over place for him, where he can clean up the attitude. He can play like he's capable of playing, and it's a new start for him.
Now, one of the knocks on George Pickens is attitude. We've seen him. There's video. We all see the video where he'll get fired up at a teammate, at a coach, maybe seem disinterested, check out of a game, all that kind of stuff. And then penalties. And look, since he became a Cowboy, the video at the end of the game with Jordan Lewis grabbing him by the face mask and throwing him down, we've seen that 100 times. And the idea that this guy will hurt your team with all the penalties that he gets because he can't control himself, as if we're talking about Draymond Green. So Pledge did a little research. In 2024, Pickens was flagged 4 times. 19 wide receivers, 19, are tied with George or had more than 4 penalties against him. 4 total. All season. Just 4.
Well,
we talk about the guy like he gets 4 a game.
You kind of have to know what those penalties are. I mean, if they're just offsides or that, okay, nothing. But if all 4 of those are unsportsmanlike conduct, then that's a problem.
It is, but the fact that 19 receivers have as many or more. In 2023, he had 4. 12 receivers had at least 4 or more. And in 2022, he had 5 and only 7 wide receivers. Now, again, I don't know, and Pledge didn't go deep into the weeds on this. Are they false starts, offensive pass interference, holding, or the the personal foul variety. But the fact is, one of the narratives on him is he's going to hurt your team with penalties. And you're right. In a game, a 15-yard penalty at the wrong time can cost you. But the idea that the perception of George Pickens is he's a hothead, he's going to lose his cool, and he's going to hurt the team with a bunch of penalties. Perception versus reality. The numbers don't lie. There are 19 other wide receivers with at least 4 or more penalties.
True.
I'm not saying that it's excusable, but it's certainly not as bad as it seems.
Well, and again, I'm curious, and I'm trying to find out exactly what those penalties were. But if it's a personal foul penalty, which he got, by the way, on Jordan Lewis. I mean, that one right there, and I'm not sure when that was.
It was at the very end of the game. Didn't matter. Game was over. But it was there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's the kind of stuff. And look, it looked like Lewis was jawing at him, but still.
Yeah.
You got to control yourself. So we'll find out, and it depends. But look, again, we talked about this yesterday. I'm not mad at the move. I think it's good. But Pickens has got to grow up. Mm-hmm. I don't care if he had 0 penalties for 10 games and then cost you a game in the 11th game because of a couple of personal foul penalties. That's the kind of stuff he's got to grow up and do better at. So I'm all for it, and I think it's a fresh start for him and an opportunity for him to make a lot of money.
And again, going back to growing up a little bit, Pickens was asked about the comments Mike Tomlin made about him, saying that he needs to grow up.
I feel like everybody in the world, is working on growing on their better end of themselves, and I feel like growth for me is taking a great direction in me coming to the Cowboys.
Growth? Yeah, look, he's got to look at it, and somebody's got to sit him down. David Mulugheta is his agent.
Yep.
I mean, you would think, as an agent, you would sit down and say, hey, George, you gotta look, we got a chance to make a lot of money. You're in the last year of your rookie deal. You're going to Dallas. You got a chance to show what you can do. It's a big media market. Everybody looks at the Dallas Cowboys. You can actually, if you play well there, you can make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And I would think Mulugheta would tell him that, and I hope he's got some other advisors that would tell him that. Just don't act like a fool. Go out and show everybody what you can do, and you're going to pay off.
And, again, when you look at the 4 penalties last year, one was for taunting, one was for unsportsmanlike conduct, and then a false start in a PI. So when you look at that, the idea, yeah, all those hurt the team. But it feels like the narrative around him is he's getting those every game. And so that really isn't the case, perception versus reality. But when you have a reputation like that, and if you're taunting a little bit and you're George Pickens, chances are that flag is coming out versus maybe another receiver that might get told, hey, man, chill out a little bit. I'm going to get you next time.
Yeah, and according to this story that I'm looking at here from Pittsburgh, by the way, it's Pittsburgh, 2 of those personal foul penalties were in one game against the Cincinnati Bengals. And he didn't get a third one. Apparently, he did some kind of gun celebration, finger gun celebration, and the officials let him go.
Yeah.
So, he's shown some immaturity. There's no question about that. It's hard to argue that he's not. But he's got to grow up. He's got a chance. And so I'm willing to give the guy a chance. Again, I think it was a good move. I know there's other teams that weren't going to touch this guy, but the Cowboys did, and I think it was a good move.
And I agree. And, again, I'm not trying to defend the guy. I'm just trying to because, again, I'm one that did question. If Mike Tomlin let you go, that's a problem. And I've got to dig deeper into what went wrong because that's an organization that you kind of look at. It's a well-run organization. Mike Tomlin is Mike Tomlin. And if that guy's given up on you, I'm guessing it's more you than the organization. Other teams, other places, yeah, dude, that guy just needs a change of environment. Maybe growth, Mike Tomlin giving up on you is the wake-up call that George Pickens needs if he wants to have a long NFL career with a big payday right around the corner. And a lot of that is how is he going to blend in Dallas. Lots of different comments about that we'll get into coming up here on The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. Sam has his entire spring line on display right now in his showroom. So if you need your company logo, your group logo on a nice golf shirt, a fishing shirt, any kind of shirt, go see Sam. If you need T-shirts screen printed, Sam will get you taken care of. He has over 700 uniform lines to choose from, all kinds of industries. And if you need caps, nobody has more caps than Sam. Over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations are on display in his showroom right now, just waiting for your logo. And he's got all the popular cap brands like the Richardson 112 style trucker caps, Katie Caps, Nike Cap America. Nobody has better prices. No order too big, no order too small. You need one item, 5, a dozen, 25,000 items. It doesn't matter. Sam will get you taken care of. So call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or go by that massive showroom down on San Pedro. It's 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, it is indeed lottery day. Grab your lucky charms. We'll see what happens with the Spurs.
And how did the weekend treat the playoff teams? We'll talk about that. So much more. Morning Huddle starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
How's your financial situation?
I've been working at Quiznos.
Really?
Really?
They open still?
No. Really good sandwich, baby.
Yeah, they were when they were open.
Hey!
Being in a musical with you, man. Every word is a song.
Yeah. Schlotzky's is a bunch of bitches.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Does this sound like your marriage? Wake up and realize that there's a better life waiting. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. At Barton & Associates, we specialize in navigating the complexities of divorce law, protecting your best interests, and ensuring you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but here's the thing. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control of the process and secure your future. If you're serious about protecting yourself and securing your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team you need. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. If you're tired of this, then start your better life today with Barton & Associates. Visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places that I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
You know what's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag with a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, 4-piece nugs, Junior Hot and Crispy Fries, and small soft drink is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Unlimited time does not mean forever. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and California, and via third-party delivery. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
Made in America, highest quality. That's Connecticut Quality Water Softeners. There's a reason Dave Ramsey says a Connecticut is a wise investment for your home.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it.
It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
ConnecticutSA.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix on a Friday afternoon. Plan now, Monday, to join us at the Rue Pub, 281 and Redland Road, because it's NBA Draft Lottery night. And you know how they do it at the Rue. Spurs end up with that number one pick. They're picking up the tab. So go early, enjoy a great lunch, some liquid refreshments. Might be free.
And if you didn't go to the one where Wemby was, or the lottery ball came down and everybody knew who we were going to get. I mean, it's crazy. Go look at it. Go look it up on, I'm sure it's on YouTube or something, or it's all over the place. And you just put it back out. Pledge just put it back out on our San Antonio Sports Star, SA Sports Star Instagram page. So you can go there and look at it.
Yeah, in fact, I was tagged in that earlier, which reminded me I need to add that to my story so you can see it. At Joe Reinagel 210, at Jason Minix, at SA Sports Star. Just incredible. That scene and the excitement level. And look, I get there's not a Wemby in this draft, but raise the flag. The idea that you could end up with the Cooper flag. Now, Spurs right now slotted to pick 8 and 14 with Atlanta's pick. A 26% chance to get into the top 4. A 6% chance to land that number 1 overall pick. Now, there's a 14% chance in 23 when we got Wemby. A 21% chance in 97 when we got Timmy.
Yeah, but still, there is a chance.
There's a chance.
Right? I mean,
we know how the lottery gods are. Now, I'll say this. We've got a Pope now from Chicago, and the Bulls are in the lottery. And every sports team is already taken up for claiming stuff. The Chicago Cubs have egg on their face today. Remember yesterday? They put on their marquee, and he's a Cubs fan. Well, then they found his brother, who's still in Chicago, and said, "Oh, dude's a White Sox fan."
Dude, nobody's a Cubs fan, or they would admit it. Hell, if he would admit it, they'd probably kick him out.
I mean, come on.
Can't be a Cubs fan.
I mean, was he a White Sox fan?
Well, that's not much better, but the Cubs?
I mean.
That's like, I don't know. I think Satan might own that club. I don't know.
Your Cardinal fan is showing.
Well, I'm just saying.
I want to say it was Annie Agar maybe with the best tweet that I saw yesterday about the Pope in sports. Chicago produced a Pope before a quarterback who throws for 4,000 yards.
She's a clever girl.
She is.
I mean, she is a very clever girl. There's no doubt. If you're not following Annie Agar, you need to. She's pretty funny,
amongst other things.
Well, she's easy to look at too. Yes, shiny.
There you go.
Shiny.
Some dude just tweeted us. At Joe Reinagel 210, at Jason Minix. Flacco. Picture of the Pope, but took all the Pope gear and made it Bears and said, Popes from Chicago 1, Popes from Green Bay 0. Aaron Rodgers still owns Chicago. Let's not be kidding.
Well.
Yeah.
It's funny, though, but Cubs, geez. I'm so happy. Not a better team in the world to have egg on their face today. See, they were so excited that somebody was a Cubs fan. It was great. And then they realized, well, there's another one that's really not.
Your argument is akin to stealing scissors. There are a lot of Cubs fans out there. Lots of. It's a national team. Growing up, a lot of people are Cubs or Braves fans because you got those TV stations everywhere. WGN in Chicago and TBS in Atlanta. And so, Wrigley Field is a destination place. People like to go there, whether they're a Cubs fan or not. It's just you're such a Cardinal fan, you can't see the truth.
Cubs suck.
Oh, they do suck.
They suck.
Don't get me wrong. They do suck. Part man.
Just saying. Cubs.
Do we want to
afraid of a baby bear anyway.
You would be. You came across one.
I want Sean Payton to manage the Cubs.
Yeah. That's where he belongs.
Wow.
Dude, I mean, you're just.
You ever been to Wrigley?
Never have, but I want to, and I want to go when I do want to go there, but when the Cardinals are playing.
So you can get your ass kicked?
Which is a very difficult ticket to get, I'm told.
I mean.
Although I know a guy.
You know a guy.
I know a guy.
I think your wife would let you outspend the budget on an event like that.
I think she would.
It'd be like a
absolutely.
destination trip.
Uh-huh.
Because people do those things.
They do, but it's called a vacation.
Sure.
And not just lunch.
And you would plan your vacation about different restaurants in Chicago that you want to eat at.
While I'm on vacation in Chicago.
Yes.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Not going vacation in Luling.
No, that's a road trip. You're driving through and driving back. So, George Pickens, new member of the Dallas Cowboys. It is interesting when you think about perception reality, because everything that he said yesterday is what you want to hear. Now, granted, a lot of guys have always said what you wanted to hear while talking to the media, but actions speak louder than words. Johnny Manziel comes to mind.
Yep.
Never lost a press conference.
Yep.
Every time he got in trouble, said all the right things, and all right, man, let's give you yet another chance, right? Because he always said all the right things. Actions do speak louder than words, but he said all the right things. The idea that he gets to play now with a Dak Prescott.
Yeah, that was one of the first guys that I definitely contacted with was Dak. He's just watching his game over the years, he's a very prolific QB and smart QB at that. So I'm just glad to be working with him.
And again, right thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Exactly right thing to say. Now, you got to keep the quarterback happy if you want to get the football.
Well, it does help.
Yeah.
But also, and look, diva wide receiver, there's a reason they're called diva wide receivers. They all think they're wide receiver one. They all think that they're the best. George Pickens said he's not worried about if he's called wide receiver one.
I'll probably most definitely say on the outside. You guys make it a 1A, 1B, and all of this. Honestly, that's the first time I've heard any of that stuff. I feel like two receivers are kind of normal. When I used to watch football, there was always a good receiver, and then there was always another good receiver on the side of him. So I just feel like we're going to work off each other very well.
No, he didn't call himself wide receiver, too. It's 1A, 1B.
Well, when he used to watch football, does he not watch football anymore?
Well, now that he's in it for a living,
I guess.
Maybe he's kind of thinking of it that way. Although legendary Hall of Fame wide receiver Drew Pearson says it really doesn't matter if you're wide receiver one or wide receiver two.
It doesn't matter who's number one. Who's number one for that day. and that's based on what the defense is doing. It gives you the opportunity to be open. Next week, it might be something different. Both guys have the ability to be number one, but why worry about that, okay? Let's worry about just somebody getting open and making plays. With Roger, I might have been that number one guy because I was making plays for him. If you make plays for the quarterback, you'll become that number one guy, that's for sure. And CeeDee Lamb and Pickens both have that ability. So let's not worry about who's that number one guy. Let the defense worry about who's going to be the number one receiver.
Drew Pearson is absolutely right on paper until it comes to contract negotiations. And then it does matter if you're wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2.
The reality is, though, I think Drew Pearson might have said it best. We all want to label these guys because there are multiple wide receivers that start. He is a starter. It's not like he's coming off the bench as the 2. If you're left tackle 2, you probably aren't going to play a lot unless somebody gets hurt. You're going to start George Pickens is going to be a starter. The quarterback is going to throw to the open guy, so the defense is really determining who is wide receiver 1. So when it's contract time, George Pickens, take advantage of being 1B, sir, or wide receiver 2, as everybody else calls it, because you're going to be open. You're going to be open more than CeeDee Lamb. You should have a ton of targets, which means a ton of catches and a ton of yards. There is a reason why Jalen Tolbert led the team last year in touchdown receptions, not because he was the best wide receiver on the field, because he was the guy that the defense left open.
Wouldn't you hate to be Jalen Tolbert or Jonathan Mingo today? It's like everybody thinks that they're garbage.
Anytime Jalen Tolbert's down on himself, he just needs to open up his bank account and feel better.
Well, okay.
But their egos, and I don't know anything about Jonathan Mingo. I've never talked to him. We've talked with Jalen Tolbert before. I think he understands every time you talk to him, he's always talking about getting better. He knows he's not at that level yet. George Pickens is at that level. He knows he's that good. Tolbert's got to work there. Tolbert, and again, mindset is everything, has to take advantage of his new situation as wide receiver 3 because that's more naturally where he fits in. So when you look at a guy like Jalen Tolbert, he's going to benefit even more that a George Pickens is on the football field because, again, there's 3 wide receivers that are typically in the formation. CeeDee's going to get attention. Pickens will get attention. Tolbert might be the one that benefits the most. And Jake Ferguson. Ferguson reverts back to what he was 2 years ago and not last year.
Didn't Tolbert and Pickens come into the league at the same time? I believe they did.
Uh-huh.
Well, one of them has excelled and the other has not.
Second-round pick, third-round pick.
Because I think that Tolbert was supposed to be George Pickens. That's what the Cowboys drafted him to be.
They were hoping.
Yeah, they were hoping. So it didn't work out. Or it hasn't yet. But I got a feeling if Tolbert doesn't do something special this year, he's gone. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Again, I love this. I love it. I do. I love the pick. Or the trade. And I can't wait for the football season to start, quite frankly, to see what's going to happen.
It's, can't wait to get to Oxnard.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be fun to talk to a guy like George Pickens and, and Dak Prescott. I haven't heard from Dak, although Pickens did say he talked to him. The one guy we haven't heard from, which is strange, is Micah Parsons. Hasn't said a word about this.
Yeah, no. Is this the new mature Micah?
Is it, or does he like the pickup? Maybe he doesn't like it.
It is possible since Pickens played offense, the trash talking that was said to the defense. We know what Jordan Lewis tweeted, God wanted me in Jacksonville. Because when I first, I mean, could you imagine Jordan Lewis and George Pickens head-to-head in Oxnard? How much fun that would have been. I mean, that would have been fun. It is interesting. They both share the same agent. So you got to believe that they kind of know each other. But even then, Micah Parsons wanting to be a team leader would at least publicly embrace George Pickens coming to the team. Or it might simply be he's put his phone down a little bit because
That's the funniest thing you've said all day, Minix.
Have you seen him tweet?
No, not since because I looked.
I mean, maybe the guy,
6th.
maybe the guy's just. Well, it is May 9th.
Well, it was May 6th. When
so
he
he's been
tweeted.
raw dogging his phone for 3 days, huh?
Yeah, that poor phone.
That's a new term we've all learned, by the way.
Yeah, well,
when you're away from your phone, a little phone vacation apparently is called raw dogging by the kids.
Well, apparently it is, although nobody seems to know that.
Well, I mean, the guy talking about the Pope dad.
Well,
and he's right, and the
he
kids
blamed it
know.
on the kids.
The rest of us didn't, but apparently that's the new term.
Well, I wonder if that guy still has a job
for being away. We would know if he didn't.
Wow.
Unless CBS has put him on restriction from his phone.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, staying off Twitter as much, being more of a leader, all the things that everybody's talked about. Now Micah's doing it. We're going, well, what's wrong with Micah?
Well, no, but I mean, as a team leader, wouldn't you welcome the new guy to the team?
Sure.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a defensive guy, but you would think. I mean, it could be simple. Hey, welcome George Pickens. Let's get to work. Something simple like that. I mean, if he's a new team leader, it seems to me that would be appropriate.
Well, I mean, did CD tweet?
He did.
Did he?
But he didn't say anything. But he had that locker thing, that cartoon.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Did Dak?
Dak hasn't, but Dak talked to him on the phone.
All right, but we know that because of George.
And Dak doesn't normally. He's not a big tweeter.
I'm just saying, though. I mean, we hold Micah to a different standard.
We do.
So now, because he tweets about so much, when he doesn't tweet, we wonder what that means.
That's exactly right.
Trying to figure out these kids today.
It makes sense.
Does it?
It does.
It does.
It does.
Or does it? I don't know.
It's a mystery.
You know, it doesn't make sense.
What's that?
Bill Belichick and his girlfriend and this never-ending story. And it took some twists and turns today. Let's give you the latest, because I know you're all waiting on pins and needles for this. Here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding I-10 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
The Lion and Rose at the Dominion, your daily happy hour spot from 3 till 7 p.m. 250 drafts, wine, wells, and bites from just $5. Big screens, bold flavors, and a patio made for post-game hangs. Lion and Rose at 23330 West I-10.
Hey, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Time's running out to find the perfect Mother's Day gift, but it's okay because Macy's is here to help. Shop our annual Mother's Day sale and you'll find gifts that'll make mom say, that's exactly what I wanted. There are diamond necklaces and pendants 30 to 55% off. Handbags from Karl Lagerfeld and Calvin Klein 30% off. And designer fragrance gift sets boxed and ready to give. How easy is that? But don't wait any longer. Mother's Day is Sunday and the sale is happening now at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust, Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything, from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value, free.
Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-298-2007. That's 800-298-2007. 800-298-2007.
Count on Kohl's for those special gifts Mom deserves this Mother's Day. Inspire her inner chef with must-haves for her kitchen, wellness essentials for her fitness routine, and jewelry for her perfect night out. Plus, you can save 15% on some of your finds and earn Kohl's cash. Find Mom's perfect gift in time for Mother's Day at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Select styles. Offer valid through May 11th. Kohl's cash and coupons do not apply to Sephora. Exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for more details.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas. I absolutely love the Golf Club of Texas. They've made so many improvements to the golf course, from brand new cart paths to resodding the greens and fairways. You might think it's a private club, but it's not. It's open to the public 7 days a week. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, you know where it is, right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
If you're looking to up your beer game, Karbach has you covered. From Hopadillo to Crawfordbach to Ziegenbach to their best seller, the Love Street, there's something for everybody in the lineup, and you can find it anywhere. Next time you're out and about, ask your bartender to make it a Karbach.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
We had one game in the NBA playoffs last night. The Minnesota Timberwolves had no trouble with the Golden State Warriors. They didn't have Steph Curry, and they win at 117-93. That series now is all even at 1. Game 3 tomorrow night in San Francisco at 7:30. Tonight, the Cavs take on the Pacers in Indiana, trailing 2-0. It's a game you can catch right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, beginning at 6 o'clock.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. On a Friday afternoon, glad to have you along, listening on the radio, online, one of the many apps. If you're watching on YouTube, appreciate however you're tuning in today.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Spend a little bit of your Friday with us here on the Blitz. We appreciate it. It's Friday. I mean, doesn't that just make everything better? It's Friday. I mean, the weekend's here.
The weekend is here.
Yeah.
Lots going on.
Lots happening. You know, you live in the same neighborhood as my brother.
I do.
His dog last night got attacked by a raccoon.
What?
Yes.
Was it the raccoon that was hanging out in my house?
It may have been. You piss him off?
No, I wasn't home. I just saw him on my cameras. He was hanging out on my
craziest thing.
Patio chair.
I think my brother and sister-in-law were out somewhere and got home about 9 o'clock, and their dog had been attacked by a raccoon. Had to take him to the vet, get rabies shots and all that stuff. So
that's scary as hell.
It's scary, isn't it?
So they saw it?
Well, I don't know. I have tried to call my brother. He didn't answer. He called me back, and I didn't answer, and so I don't know the full details. But
they know it was a raccoon.
They know it was a raccoon.
Because we have a lot of those foxes, silver foxes in the neighborhood.
They're pretty sure it was a raccoon.
Okay.
And I don't know how they know that, and I'll get details later, but crazy.
It is crazy.
Dude, that's the second time something's happened to their dog. The old dog they had forever, and she finally died, but bit by a rattlesnake.
Well, those happen.
Yeah. Crazy.
Very crazy.
So I got to get the details.
Attacked by a raccoon.
A raccoon.
You know, if it was somebody else's dog, we could have some fun with that. Well, but you know the dog, right? Is there video of this?
Poor Larry. I don't know. I don't know if there is. Poor old Larry. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Damn raccoon. What the hell's going on?
Yesterday on my cameras, there a raccoon just hanging out on my lawn chair in the backyard.
I see my nephew on our YouTube page just said he's good. Went to the vet this morning.
Did Larry win the fight?
Well, Rhino, you got to give me some details, brother. Apparently not. If he had to go to the vet,
Well,
I don't know. Maybe
you got to see the other guy.
Maybe it was a heavyweight fight, and Larry got the best of it at the end.
I've seen Larry. It's not a heavyweight fight.
Poor Larry.
Nothing like Joe's brother is this massive dude. He's a bodybuilder, and he always wears little shorts and a tank top because he can. And he's always out walking his dog.
Wow.
It's always a sight. It's comical.
Well, it is comical, but my brother loves that dog, man.
Well,
I mean,
sure.
he really does. Well, I'm just saying they're really close.
Well, I hope all is well with Larry.
Larry, I guess he's good.
He's fine.
Yeah.
He's fine. Things aren't fine in North Carolina. Let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
Now, Bill Belichick and his girlfriend, this story has taken another interesting turn.
It's worse than Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, for goodness sake.
I mean, sort of, but I mean, part of you, this Jordan chick, I mean, do you give her credit? She's ambitious. She's this, she's that. She's, I don't know, right? So this morning there was an article, there was comments that she has been banned from the football facilities there at North Carolina. And then Pablo Torre, who used to be at ESPN, now a podcaster, he says that Bill's family is now investigating Jordan. They're looking into her because they're protecting their old man.
The second update is that Bill Belichick's family is extraordinarily concerned about what has transpired. One Belichick family source told me, quote, "There is deep worry for how detrimental Jordan can be for not just North Carolina, but Bill's legacy, reputation, everything he has built and worked for over decades." End quote. In fact, the family has been digging into Jordan Hudson as well.
Wow. Well, hey, if I'm one of Belichick's kids, I'm digging too. I say, hey, whoa, that's mine. This is crazy. UNC comes because Pablo Torre reported that they had banned her from all football activities. And then it came out shortly thereafter from North Carolina. They came out and said, whoa, we didn't do that. She's welcome here. So I don't know what the true story is, but Belichick, and he's making $10 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's going on, but I mean, this is bad. And I have to agree with his family. I mean, this girl could actually just, put a dent or a mark on his reputation.
Well, I think she's already done that in a variety of ways. Now, you could look at this as Bill being the mastermind recruiter. One of the knocks on him, he's too old for the NFL. So what does he do? He recruits a 20-something-year-old girlfriend and goes to college, and she keeps him more in tune with the players of that age. I don't know. But was it Edelman that said it's now a problem? Before Edelman, Julian was like, let Bill have his fun. But then Julian Edelman, I heard him on a podcast say, Bill's number one rule, don't become a distraction.
That's exactly
right. No matter what you're
Yep.
doing, do not let it distract from the team.
And it's doing that.
This is now a distraction.
It is. I don't know. Look, I mean, I ain't saying she's a gold digger.
She's got a type for her.
But I'm just saying. I mean, please.
Her last boyfriend was 62.
I'm just saying. Well, that proof positive. I mean, look, it's people can do what they want, all right? But it is a little unusual, is it not, for a 70-something-year-old to be dating a 24-year-old?
Go hang out in Scottsdale for a weekend.
Well, I'm just saying it is. And, well, there's one thing about long dates or one-night stands or a weekend. I mean, there's a difference.
I just wonder if the family is just worried about, has she changed the will?
Exactly. Well, they're not married yet, right? They're just dating or living together, whatever they're doing.
You could change the will. She can get power of attorney in a hurry.
I suppose, but look, I don't know. Belichick needs to do something, and I mean, he needs to step up and remember where his balls are.
Well,
right. I mean, seriously. because they become deflated very quickly.
I think with Jordan, they're not.
Well, it depends. Maybe not in the sack, but certainly everywhere else.
I think he knows where they're at.
Yeah, they're in her hand.
Mm-hmm. There's powers there.
Well, yes, there is, but I mean, this guy's been, considered one of the best coaches in NFL history.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to go out like this?
Well, has the reputation not already been tarnished when you think of Bill Belichick? You're not
Sure.
thinking about Super Bowls. You're thinking about him playing that little game on the beach where he had her up on the legs. All of it. I mean, it is such a distraction that, in the fact that North Carolina immediately came out and was like, "No, she's not an employee here, but she handles Bill's personal brand." It's a distraction.
It is a distraction.
And if he doesn't win football games, it's a bigger problem, right?
Yeah, it is. Look, again, Belichick can do whatever he wants. And if he wants his reputation shattered, then that's up to him.
You say shattered. I mean, you're 70-something, you're single, and that's now your arm candy?
Dude, at some point, there's more to life than that. I mean, what do you do with the rest of what do you do with the rest of the 23 hours and
you gear up for the next time.
55 minutes?
I hear what you're saying, and I agree, but if Bill Belichick is happy, pardon me, but the controlling Bill Belichick, don't let things be a distraction, are there. In very different topics, and I don't really want to combine the two as I say this, but Sean Elliott told us something on Monday afternoon that I don't think gets enough credit when he was talking about the culture that the Spurs have established through the years with Greg Popovich. And he didn't credit Greg Popovich. He credited Aaron Popovich. He credited RC's wife. He credited and they stayed in the background. There never any kind of public accolades for their role in creating the Spurs culture. But you look at coaches and their families. Coaches' families generally are out of the spotlight. I mean, we hear about Jeff Traylor's wife when he brings her up. And there's certain events that she's a part of, but for the most part, you don't see Kerry Taylor running around on the football field taking Jeff's whistle. You never see that. Was it Charles Barkley that said, "I'm the famous one"? His family's not allowed to talk. And typically when you're of a celebrity status, you've got a lot of people around you, and they stay in the background.
Well, but this girl doesn't – I don't think she knows how to do that. And she's out there.
Because Bill has let her, and why?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but was Bill afraid she's going to run off and not and look, Bill's probably madly in love, or certainly madly in lust, one of the two, and he doesn't want to lose that. And so I think he's afraid that, I'm sure there are 40 or 50-somethings or 60-somethings that would be happy to be arm candy to Bill Belichick and would shut the hell up and not do anything.
Mm-hmm. But Jordan, and I don't know this about her, I'm making a bad assumption. I think she likes the spotlight.
She does.
And she's aggressive, and she's smart, and she's taking full advantage of the access that Bill Belichick allows her.
She is, but it's going to at what cost for Bill Belichick? That's the problem, and that's what everybody's concerned about.
And how much does she care about what cost, or is she in it for her?
I think she's in it for her. And so Belichick's reputation is destroyed, and she walks away, and I don't know. It's them, but it's certainly a concern. And now if the family's looking into it, if that's true, and I have every reason to believe that is, that's a problem.
And the fact that North Carolina seemingly is okay with this.
Apparently so.
And you wonder, because they hired Bill Belichick. They didn't hire this. Now, granted, in what is called earned media, a lot of talk about North Carolina football, except for none of it has to do with North Carolina football on the field. So if they just wanted their name out there a lot, and that was one of the advantages of hiring Bill Belichick, then they're getting their money's worth. But you think about the hierarchy at the university, the athletic director who's talking with the board of whatever they call them, directors or chancellors and presidents and just all of it, you got to wonder, did North Carolina really sign up for this?
Well, no, and what is North Carolina afraid of? They're afraid Belichick's just going to say, well, screw this then, I quit. I mean, because he doesn't need the money. I mean, I think he's made plenty of money, although it'd be hard to walk away from $10 million this year. But still, I mean, I don't know what they're afraid of, because the athletic director should say, when we're on the practice field, we don't need a 24-year-old running around and yelling out orders.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the athletic director could do that. And Belichick would have to say, you know what, okay. And that's it. And what the hell does she want to be out there anyway for?
Because that's where the TV cameras are.
I suppose.
Speaking of cameras, did you guys see that video of the influencer lady?
Oh, my God.
Was that a Great Dane? It was a massive, massive dog, and she's getting on the plane, and originally the dude working at the airline was like, what are you doing? How's that dog going to sit on this plane?
Well, it's funny. She bought the dog a ticket.
Yeah.
And so the dog's got its own seat, but she asked the flight attendant as she's getting on, you know, I just want to make sure people are okay with it if they're sitting around with me. Well, no, they're not okay with it. I mean, this dog is massive.
It's a Great Dane.
It's huge. Why?
And it's one of the few times you see a influencer lady, and you actually notice what else is in the picture because the dog was that big.
Well, look, not only that, she's doing it for publicity.
Well, sure.
That's it.
Well,
so now it's all over, and we're talking about it, and everybody else is talking about it, and it's ridiculous.
Mission accomplished. Oh, what a cool dog.
Sure, but I don't want to sit next to it on a flight.
You imagine you go to the airport tonight, you get on your plane, and that is in the row next to you or next to you?
No.
I mean, that dog's bigger than like a Shetland pony.
I mean, I've seen people bring dogs on planes, but they're usually in a little cage, and they're there, or cats or whatever.
Yeah.
But this dog, there is no cage big enough for this dog. I always feel sorry for the dogs and cats that are in these little cages.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Would you rather them take them out of the cage?
I'd rather them leave them at home.
Sometimes you got to travel with your dog.
How about leave them at home?
Yeah, sometimes you got to travel with your dog.
They have kennels.
Yeah, sometimes you need to travel with your dog.
I'm just saying. There are places that babysit dogs while you go on vacation.
Maybe you're taking your dog on vacation.
Why?
Maybe you're moving. And
isn't that the whole point of, well, if you're moving, that's a different story.
Okay.
Or you got to take the dog.
I mean, some people travel with their dogs. Some people can't be without their dogs.
I take a vacation to get away from the dogs and the kids. All right? Everything. I want to go away. The dog is going to be just fine. Well taken care of. Promise you.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
Waiting for Pledge to play that.
Holy cow.
God. Grumpy old Joe.
What?
Here we go.
Did you take your dog on vacation with you?
No. But I don't get mad at people that have their dogs on a plane.
Well, I don't. I just feel bad for the dog. It's in a little cage. You don't know what the hell's going on. Probably never flown before. Probably pooping all over the cage and taking off, and the engine's roaring, and poor little dog. Feel bad for him.
Do you?
Yes.
You feel bad for you.
Well,
the dog pooped and you got to smell it.
I don't care.
No, if that dog pooped and you smelled it, you'd be mad as hell at that dog.
I would be, yes. Yeah. I have to smell that all the way. Yeah.
Let's talk about some NBA playoffs coming up.
And
then
the matter with you people?
Encounter between Michael Irvin and Anthony Edwards. Let's talk about it. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle.
I was once asked by a girl, gun to head, you've got to make out with one guy in the world. Who would you make out with?
Caitlyn Jenner.
And I said, I don't know if this is the correct response or not, but what I said was modern or historical. Yeah.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
I took my stepdad's Bronco 2 to the beach in Nantucket, and I hooked up with this, get this.
Yes.
Danish nanny.
Of course.
course.
So you do have a type.
Yes.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Gentlemen, testosterone levels can start dropping in your 30s, leading to low energy, reduced libido, and slower metabolism. Rock's Discount Vitamins is making it easy to take back control. No appointments and no prescriptions. Just head into a Rock's and walk out with a natural solution tailored to you. Our powerful line of natural testosterone boosters can help increase energy, build muscle, rev up your metabolism, and reignite your drive. You'll feel the difference and fast. Visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God in South Texas.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
George gets justice. In an instant, a careless driver turns your life upside down. You're hurt, the bills pile up, and work stops. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, your consultation is free. No fees, no pressure, just real help. Justice starts with one call. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Looking for a place with character, cold drinks, and real Texas charm? Pull up a chair at the Lion and Rose in the Dominion. This local favorite, run by the Tharp family, serves up Southern hospitality, military pride, and seriously good food. Happy hour daily from 3 till 7 p.m. with $2.50 drafts, select wine, wells, and mimosas. Plus, tasty bites from just $5. Big screens, bold flavors, and a patio made for post-game hangs. Now open at 23330 West I-10. The Lion and Rose.
This is the home of the Aggies, and this is Andrew Monaco. You're locked on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jay Semenix. Friday afternoon. Ready for the weekend.
I'm ready, too. Ready for the weekend. It's going to be a good one.
Big time. NBA last night was as expected.
Yeah.
No Steph Curry, no problem for Minnesota. Although when Anthony Edwards went down with an ankle sprain, I was like, oh, no. Couldn't believe he came back. Can't believe they let him come back, to be honest. 117-93, the final.
Wasn't even that close.
And it wasn't even that close.
I was a little upset, though, because a little parlay on that game.
Mm-hmm.
Had Minnesota and the under.
Mm-hmm.
I think without Steph, there's no way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was wrong.
Draymond Green did Draymond Green things last night. He got another technical. What's the word I'm looking for? His reputation, like he deserved it. But then his comments afterwards were like, come on, man.
You look like the angry black man. I'm not an angry black man. I'm a very successful, educated black man with a great family. And I'm great at basketball. I'm great at what I do. The agenda to try to keep making me look like an angry black man is crazy. I'm sick of it. It's ridiculous.
Well, look, I watched it over and over again just to see. He clearly was trying to hit Naz Reid.
Yep.
And he whacked him across the face with the elbow. I mean, I don't think there's no defense for that. And for Draymond to try to play the victim in that case is ridiculous. I mean, to me, the officials were exactly right.
Well, and then whatever was going on with the crowd, and we knew that. I mean, the crowd's going to get under his skin. Afterwards, Steve Kerr is like, that's, Draymond's a special player, and he's a great player.
He is a great player.
And I don't know that it gets portrayed that way. Maybe he feels that way, but there are players in this league for years. There have been some that, that's kind of their reputation of a little short on the fuse. You can get under their skin. And was it in the Houston? The Houston series, the Draymond chance got under his skin, and Steve Kerr addressed it. And you knew on the road that's going to happen everywhere you go. Right? You've got to learn how to handle that, especially when you don't have Steph Curry. You've got to stay in the game. You've got to focus a little bit more. He is an incredible player, and the idea that I don't know that how he's playing that. I don't know. I didn't really like that because Draymond is doing Draymond things, and you're going to get that with Draymond Green. Steve Kerr knows that. Steph Curry knows that. Everybody on that team knows that's a possibility. You saw Steph in street clothes trying to calm him down, playing counselor, peacemaker. Draymond, we need you. Don't get up there and get suspended for a game because I'm coming back, but we still have to have a chance when I get back.
Well, he's had 5 technicals now in the playoffs. I think he gets 1 or 2 more. I'm not sure exactly the number, but he will be suspended for a game. And that's not gonna help anybody. And I see reports today that they may not have Steph Curry back until Game 6 in this series. Look, Draymond's got to stay in the game. Jimmy Butler and Draymond have got to try and pull this team along until Steph Curry gets back. And you can't do stupid things like that. You just can't. And I don't care. We talked about George Pickens and doing things that he does or doesn't do or whatever. But you can't hurt teams like that, especially in basketball when they're relying on you now. And you got to hold the ship and keep it above water until Steph Curry gets back. And that kind of nonsense is just, that's what it is. Nonsense.
He's 2 technical short of receiving an automatic 1-game suspension. He could also get a 1-game suspension if he receives 2 more flagrant fouls. Now, the incident with the fan, that fan was ejected, apparently was making racial slurs at Draymond Green. Timberwolves released a statement talking about fan code of conduct, and they've identified him. And you hate that that's a part of it. Maybe that's where his comments about the agenda is there because he then dealt with racial slurs. And there's certainly no place in that, and I'm glad the Minnesota Timberwolves have handled that. Golden State security on the bench said, yep, they heard what Draymond said was said, and the Timberwolves are backing that. But at the same time, the on-the-court stuff, Draymond has to play with more control. Has to.
And Claymore brings that up, too. And those comments, and I'll admit, Claymore and everybody else, I'm not sure what he was responding to. You can't condone fan behavior like that. Racial slurs, that can't happen. I mean, fans can yell and say things, but when it crosses the line like that, and I'm glad that Minnesota took care of that. I'm talking about the technical foul on Naz Reid. That's what I'm talking about, and that was clearly a technical foul in my mind. It was clearly on purpose. It was not an accident. At least it certainly didn't look like it. And again, I've watched that play several times. But if he was referring to a fan who was being an idiot, then okay, I get that.
And it's a combination of both, I think. But, I mean, we see players try to sell fouls all the time. And you could make the argument that Draymond Green was trying to sell the foul, although it was a little excessive. And I know that's what his teammates are saying. Like Jimmy Butler was like, yeah, he's trying to sell the foul. But Draymond's reputation is like, dude, we can't have that. And that was excessive. And again, if you're Golden State right now, everybody from Steve Kerr, all the team, they need Draymond Green. And he is this close to getting suspended. And he's just got to have more control as that series shifts back. Now, it's still tied 1-1, and if Steph Curry can get back in time, but last night was a disaster all the way around for Golden State, which, quite honestly, wasn't overly unexpected. And it could have been disastrous for Minnesota with that ankle sprain. And again, a little surprised that they let Anthony Edwards play in the second half because the game was never in doubt. I mean, even when Golden State made that little bit of a run in the third, you never really felt like, oh, Golden State might win this one, right? At least I didn't feel that way.
No, I never felt that way. Golden State never had a chance in this game. But, Golden State was kind of like Denver the other night. It's human nature. You win a game one, and you're like, I just don't think you're as hyped up. Of course, you'd like to get game two, but you win a game one on the road. You've stolen home court advantage. And I just think that it's human nature sometimes to let down a little bit. I think Golden State did that. They don't have Steph Curry. Then you get what happened with Naz Reid here, and I keep watching it. It's clearly, I mean, that kind of stuff can't happen. I mean, the ball's already gone, and he just smacks him across the face. It can't happen.
Again, is he trying to sell the foul?
It's who trying to sell the foul?
Draymond. He's trying to sell the foul.
Why?
On Naz.
What, when you whack him across the face with your
you wail
forearm?
your arms because your arm got hit and accidentally hit you in the head.
Oh yeah, accidentally my butt.
Well, that's what the ref said. Kind of crazy.
It was clearly a technical foul.
2 games tonight. Cleveland, Indiana. They play game 3. You can listen to that one right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star starting at 6 o'clock. Crazy where that series is at right now. Indiana leading 2-0 going home. Later tonight, Thunder and Nuggets. Of course, that series is tied at 1.
I'm shocked that OKC's actually favored in this game tonight.
Yeah, by 5.5.
Unbelievable. I just let you know where I'll be. Give me the home team plus 5.5.
Well, I mean, I'm with you. The over-under's 232.5.
That's a lot.
The over-under in the Cleveland game is 230.5.
Yeah.
And Cleveland favored by 5.5.
See, that's crazy too, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
How in the world, with the way Indiana's played in this series, and I'm not sure, is Garland back tonight?
No. They haven't announced yet.
I haven't seen, and it's going to be interesting to see if he is. I know they're going to say, well, Cleveland's desperate to get a win. I get that, but, man, the way Indiana has just handled them in the first 2 games, to go to Indiana and you're favored, It's crazy.
Tomorrow afternoon, Knicks-Celtics. Super Bowl level ticket prices at Madison Square Garden tomorrow for Game 3. Wow. The idea that tickets are that expensive for a non-elimination game are insane.
Insane. Well, everybody's excited about the Knicks.
Sure.
Right? They should be. The way they've played. I didn't give them any respect. None whatsoever. But, boy, they've certainly come out and played well in the first 2 games of this series. That's for sure. Well, and Boston's been moronic in the way they're playing ball.
You know how like on ESPN they give you the spread and tickets as low as.
Yeah.
Right? Tonight's Cleveland-Indiana game, tickets as low as 82. in Denver. Tickets as low as $65. Tomorrow for Game 3, Warriors T-Wolves, tickets as low as $121. And for Knicks Celtics, tickets as low as $533. And that's just in the building.
Low as.
Yeah. I mean, courtside, thousands of dollars.
Oh, my gosh.
At the Garden. I mean, when it's getting compared to Super Bowl prices, you know how crazy that is.
Look, Knicks fans are excited. Did you see them out there in the first two games? Boy, they were just thrilled. And there's not a Knicks fan around. And if you tell me you thought this would be 2-0, you're a liar. I'm sorry. I'm going to use it. There's nobody that expected them to be up 2-0 heading back to New York for Game 3.
No, nobody. It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. Great Friday afternoon. You have your weekend plans, and I'm going to assume none of you plan on getting arrested. But some of you will, because it happens to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. Steal scissors. You get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that is to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential, and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas. Services nationwide. Up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, it is indeed lottery day. Grab your lucky charms. We'll see what happens with the Spurs. And how did the weekend treat the playoff teams? We'll talk about that. So much more. Morning Huddle starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Made in America, highest quality. That's Kinetico Quality Water Softeners. There's a reason Dave Ramsey says a Kinetico is a wise investment for your home.
Trust me, Kinetico water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Kinetico uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it.
It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Kinetico of San Antonio and the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at KineticoSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
KineticoSA.com. Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, long nights monitoring cyber activity, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training. We call that credit where credit is due. Whether you're active duty and looking at what's next, or a veteran looking for something new, Our degrees and certificate programs teach the application of emerging technologies and enduring life skills. So get started on a degree or certificate with personalized local support services and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. UMGC keeps your educational goals attainable with no-cost digital materials replacing textbooks in most courses, reduced tuition rates for eligible service members and their families, and scholarships for those who qualify. Get started here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-7147. 800-575-7147. That's 800-575-7147 or simply visit TRA.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on YouTube. Subscribe and watch us on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on a Friday afternoon.
It is good to have you along on a Friday afternoon. A lot of comments on our YouTube page. We appreciate that. And appreciate everybody listening as you're driving around this beautiful city in South Texas or Austin or San Marcos, wherever you're at. Thanks for listening.
And don't forget, it's Mother's Day weekend.
Oh, it sure is. Have you taken care of Mama?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I sent my mother a card.
Okay. Well, good.
But I just got a text from my wife, 3:37.
Yes?
Good news. You don't have to worry about my Mother's Day gift.
Really? Why is that?
I have no idea. I'm very nervous.
Well, I have a feeling she's already purchased it.
Oh, she has. And for her to text me about it,
Sounds like a good one.
I mean, I'm sure she's going to love it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a super heavy-duty vacuum cleaner.
I'm sure that's not what it is. So we have a rule in our house. Here, just buy your own. Open it. One of us needs to be surprised. And if you get your own, you can't screw it up. And we kind of live by that. But I'm a little nervous now that she has sent a text to tell me that.
Yeah, that sounds like a good gift.
That sounds like I got her something fantastic.
Very nice, and she's excited about it.
I can't wait to see what I got her that generated a text message.
Boy, what a great husband you are. I'm going to tell you.
Dude, I'm incredible.
Yeah, I know.
I am incredible.
Wow.
I'm nervous.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. So I have not purchased anything
that you're aware of.
I hope that's the case. Quite frankly, I am. You know, because that whole thing where wait, babe, you're not my mother.
Yeah, you can't say that.
You can't say that.
No.
Fortunately for me, though, I'm very fortunate. I get included on my mother-in-law because Maggie, my brother-in-law Brian. They'll send stuff, and they include my name on that.
Oh, yeah.
And it's great.
And you have no idea.
Well,
you're told.
No, Maggie will tell me.
Yeah, but you have no input.
No, but
you don't care.
I get included on the text, like, for the thank you, and it's like, Happy Mother's Day. It's awesome. They're good to me that way. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I get included.
My wife still makes me sign the cards. She can't just sign my name for it, which I really wish she would just do that, too.
No, your mother would know. Your mother would know.
So would know what? That I never saw the card?
Exactly. So if you sign it. Now, do you go to Copper's Cove on Sunday?
No.
Okay. Well, that's nice.
Probably should, but I was just there for Easter.
Were. I'm going to be in Houston this weekend.
Yeah.
So Courtney is responsible for getting her mother something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
And so are you.
Well,
You're responsible for getting her mother something.
Well, I maybe.
No.
I don't know what I'm going to get her yet.
Just saying. Better have something.
Well, yeah, I've got to have something. I have a card or something. A nice.
Pick one up at the gas station on the way home from the golf course.
Love letter in there. And
love letter. You know, whatever Hallmark wrote.
Well, yeah.
Love, Joe.
That's what they're paid to do, isn't it?
It really is.
Yes. All those people that write those nice cards, and that's their job.
And you just have to pay for it.
That's it.
Sign your name.
Got to do this Friday, huh? And Sunday is Mother's Day.
And you're screwed because it's a weekend of looking at wedding venues in Houston.
Well, not me.
Oh, but you're going.
No, well, I'm not going to the wedding venue. I got lucky on this deal because the groom, my future son-in-law, and his father have made a tee time for tomorrow. I don't know when that is, but we'll be playing golf.
Yeah.
Somewhere in Houston. Yeah, I guess at the country club his dad belongs to. So.
Nice. Swanky.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. So we'll see. Looking forward to it.
So the girls are going to be out looking at wedding venues?
No, they've already picked a wedding venue. They're going to go talk to the wedding person that's there, I guess, for things and go look at a few other things. So they're going to have a girls' day. And
you're going to play golf.
I'm going to play golf.
And then you have to seem interested about what they learned at dinner Saturday night?
Of course, yes.
And the only thing you really want to know is how much is this going to cost me?
No, it's I'm going to be very interested in
very interested.
Yeah. No, I think most of this trip is for the rehearsal dinner, right? So that's, his parents.
Oh, yeah, he's picking up that tab.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's going to try to take all your money on his home course.
Yeah, he probably will.
Yeah.
There'll be a little wager or two, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
It's okay. We know that I'm a pressure player. Pledge knows that firsthand.
Gilbert would like to know, based on this conversation, who is getting married to the groom, Joe or his daughter? That seems kind of weird.
I'm not sure what he mean by that, Gilbert, but
you're not getting married again.
No. Never again.
And certainly not to the groom.
No. Not to the groom.
Reminder, guys, Mother's Day is Sunday. And thanks to my wife for reminding me at 3:37 that
you're off the hook.
Well, maybe not.
You're off the hook, Minix. That's what she said.
Which 30 years, I know I better stop somewhere. So I even get in trouble like, as often as you go to the wash tub, you don't look over there and get cards? No, I don't. Never bought a thing in that shop that they have there at the car wash place.
My wife is always interested in that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I sit there and
play on your phone.
Play on the phone. She's looking around.
Yeah.
They do have some nice cards there, though.
I've
it's
never,
a good idea.
Well, sure. I mean, it's another way to separate you from your money. But
well,
I mean,
you're going to have to do it. That's as good a place as any.
Well, it is. Kill two birds with one stone.
Exactly
I get
right.
it, but no, I haven't done that. But if I go get my car washed on Saturday, I'll probably pick up a card. If they have any left. Just saying. Or
they do.
Or
CVS is always a good place.
CVS is?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, there's the guest room in one of the dresser drawers. There's a drawer full of cards and gifts for any occasion, just in case.
Really?
So I should be able to rummage through there and find a Mother's Day card.
I
don't even have to leave the house. And I know she likes it because she purchased it, and it's now in that drawer. Right?
Boy, you're just a romantic, I tell you.
And it might not even be a Mother's Day card. It's just a card for something. It might be a birthday card, but funny, and I'll just scratch out birthday and put Mother's Day.
You're just, boy, I tell you, I can see why Joanna's still with you. I tell you.
Is tremendous.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, and you've got room to talk?
Well.
All right, Pot.
So,
I got nothing.
Of course you don't.
Thank God for Maggie.
All your friends say that.
Yes. And family.
And family.
And,
Yeah.
just about everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. Uh-huh. See, Frank Valdez gets it. The kids are on their own now when it comes to mom. It's, Frank, right, Frank? That's not your mother.
Don't do that.
I'm telling you, Frank.
Don't do that.
I'm with you, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of road wins, there will be a schedule released on Wednesday. And everybody wants a good road win. And a card on Sunday could help with that on Sunday. But next Wednesday, the schedule gets released. Now, there'll be, little leaks and not even really leaks, designed teasers, if you will, starting on Monday. But the full schedule comes out Wednesday night. And the strength of schedule for the 2025 season, they've kind of looking at that and, all the different things that go in with the schedule release. And while you're trying to figure out how many wins and, you start looking at the things you can gamble on, win totals, over, under, and strength of schedule. I look at this, and I'm a little mixed on it because it's last year's winning percentage.
Right.
And if you win the division, you have a first-place schedule. If you didn't win the division, you've got a last-place schedule. So it's fun to talk about, but I don't know how much it really matters. But as we sit right now, the Cowboys are going to have a hard schedule based off of last year's win percentage of this year's opponents.
The fifth hardest, according to this list, released by the NFL. And I find it fascinating. And when you just look at the teams, because obviously I don't know when these games are going to be played yet, but we do know the opponents. And the Cowboys are going to have to play at Chicago. But they've got Green Bay, Minnesota, and Kansas City at home. But still, those are three pretty tough teams, you would think. They've got the Chargers at home. They've got to go to Denver and Detroit and Las Vegas. So some tough road games and some tough home games.
Well, and again, we know they're going to have a tough schedule. And everybody in the NFC East has got one of the toughest schedules because you know how the schedule works, right? But you look at the road games, and that's what Wednesday night really tells us. We know the opponents, but when. At Chicago, is that a December game or October? Makes a difference. Same with Denver. Detroit doesn't matter because they play indoors. They're at the Raiders, at the Jets, and at Carolina, along with the three teams in the NFC East, New York, Philly, and Washington. Interesting, 2 trips to New York since they got the Jets on the road. And their home schedule looks fantastic, too, for people trying to go to a game up there at Jerry World.
No doubt.
So it'll be interesting to see when the schedule's released. We know it's a tough schedule, but you knew that before you looked at winning percentages, just when they announced who your road and home opponents are going to be. The other part is how many are on national television. We'll always look for that. What's that schedule look like around the Thanksgiving Thursday? Do they get Thanksgiving Thursday and then typically they get the following Thursday night? So they get the 3 games in, 12 days or whatever?
Right.
Or do they get, instead of the Thursday after Thanksgiving, do they wait till Sunday? Where is the bye going to fall? It's going to be interesting. But that's what we love about this stuff.
It's great. That's why there's a primetime show on Wednesday night for the schedule release. But we'll know some of the Cowboys' dates because they won't go through the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday morning without being a Cowboy game released, or 2 or 3 for that matter. So we'll know starting on Monday where at least 1 or 2 of the games where the Cowboys are going to be.
Now, for you Houston Texans fans, you guys have the 18th easiest schedule.
Or toughest schedule far as you look at that. The San Francisco 49ers, according to this, have the easiest schedule next year.
That doesn't seem right, does it?
It doesn't, but that's the case. So it'll be interesting to see. Brock Purdy with his brand new contract. Christian McCaffrey if he lasts 2 games.
Well, I mean, and you look at the Texans, they're already kind of penciled in as the AFC South champs, but their home opponents next year outside of the AFC South is Arizona, Denver, the Raiders, San Francisco, Buffalo, and Tampa. That's the home schedule. Their road games at Kansas City, at the Chargers, at the Rams, at Seattle, at Baltimore. That doesn't seem all that easy, does it?
No, it doesn't. It does not. But, who's going to be this year's surprise team? That's always it. It was Washington last year.
That might be your Tennessee Titans and Cam Ward.
There's always a surprise team. I don't know. I think they've got a lot more holes to fill than quarterback, and I hope he plays well, but I don't know that they've got enough overall to be a surprise. But who knows?
It's going to be fun. Couple other quick NFL notes. Abdul Carter finally has a number, 51.
I am so happy, and he sounds a little bitter about it.
He is. Welcome to New York.
Can I just give these kids coming out a little advice? Make your own way. All right? Don't try to steal some Hall of Famer's number saying it's yours, because it's not. It's not. Make your own way. Pick your own number and make that a great number that some kid's going to want coming out of college 20 years from now.
And then you could be the grumpy old man that says, no, you can't have my number.
Exactly.
I mean, 51, he wanted Lawrence Taylor's 56, and LT said no. So he's got the 5 there. And then 11, which he wore in college, Phil Simms said no. And so he's got the 5 and the 1 to create his own way.
Make your own way.
Mm-hmm. And lots of Shedeur Sanders 12s and video from the rookie minicamp. Shedor's throwing some nice passes in practice. He's already looking like he's going to be a day one starter and maybe a future Hall of Fame. I'm kidding.
Dude, are you kidding me?
Yes, I'm kidding you.
I saw one pass. It was a 5-yard out, and he had 5 seconds to throw it.
Oh, that offensive line.
That's a great offensive line. I'm going to tell you what. Pledge, that's a quote of the day. Pledge just wrote up there, when did Mel Kiper start hosting the Blitz? Are you Mel Kiper?
Look at your hair, and you're going to ask me if I'm Mel Kiper?
Hey, even Mel Kiper's got better hair than I do. Goodness gracious.
That's a drop. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding I-35 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought, because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
The Lion and Rose at the Dominion, your daily happy hour spot from 3 till 7 p.m. 250 drafts, wine, wells, and bites from just $5. Big screens, bold flavors, and a patio made for post-game hangs. Lion and Rose at 23330 West I-10.
Hey San Antonio, this is Kelly Finglass, Senior Director of the world-famous Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders. Don't miss your chance to see our all-new theater production, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders on Tour. A night of dazzling performances, electrifying dance routines, a Q&A session, and even a live audition. We're coming to you for one night only, May 25th at the Majestic Theater. Tickets are limited, so go to DallasCowboysCheerleaders.com/tour to learn more today.
Progressive knows RV owners like to travel at a nice, relaxing pace. Just like this commercial. They're not rushing to a departure gate at the airport, because they depart from their driveway. And they can relax even more knowing they're protected by Progressive. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here with my good friends from Prize Picks. I'm just one of millions of members of Prize Picks that play daily fantasy sports every day, and things just keep getting better. How about 2,000x on your cash today? That's right, cash in on the basketball playoffs with Prize Picks. Don't miss your best chance to add your favorite players from the court on Prize Picks lineup. And whether it's points, rebounds, assists, and whatever else, take your pick of more or less for your shot to win up to $2,000 1000x your cash today. Turn up your playoff hot takes into tickets on basketball and championship winnings every day. And there's stuff going on all week. Every Tuesday, PrizePicks will discount several projections on the board. They take up to 15 to 25% off, savings and fun. And then there's Big Flex Friday. Those picks that don't win, you get your net losses back in promo funds up to your limit as soon as the lineup settles. Hey, there's money back. That's why I love PrizePicks. 2,000 times your money and some free ones. Download PrizePicks. Use the code Alamo for 50 free bucks. That's PrizePicks. Go run your game.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Find mom's best gift at Target. Now through Mother's Day, get up to 40% off gifts for her. Discover trendy apparel and swimwear that'll elevate any wardrobe. Jewelry that'll make her smile shine brighter, and even chocolate that'll turn any moment into something sweeter. There are endless options to choose from to show her she's the best. Hurry! Save 20 to 40% on select apparel, jewelry, chocolates, and more this Mother's Day only at Target. Restrictions apply.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Houston Texans kicked off their rookie mini camp today. It runs through the weekend. They have 2 unsigned draft picks left. 7 of them have signed. Well, the NFL schedule releases Wednesday, May 14th, but we're going to hear before that. In fact, on Monday, NBC, Fox, and Prime Video will have some leaks. Tuesday, ESPN and Good Morning America, they'll have some leaks. And then Wednesday morning, CBS and Netflix.
Sports Center brought to you by Centergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowt.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on this Friday afternoon.
Always happy to have you along. Hope you're having a great Friday afternoon. We appreciate you listening, spending part of your day with us.
Absolutely. And look, it's one of those days, and the comments on the YouTube have been great. You can always go comment on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. If you're watching, do that. Social media, at Joe Reinagel 210, at Jason Minix, at SA Sports Star on Twitter and Instagram. And I have a feeling that this story is going to be one that makes national news. Every other show that does their version of the headline blitz, you know how we always do, this seems like it should be from Florida, except it happened here. We started the show because the Express News had this story, and I saw it. Now I see KSAT. KSAT's got this all over their social medias. Big old headline. SAPD officer shoots man who stole scissors from Thai restaurant.
That's baffling. Scissors from a Thai restaurant. Here we go. I want to know where he stole them from. Were they just there on the hostess desk? Was it on a table? Were they in the window? Maybe they were putting up something. And I mean, where the hell are scissors available just willy-nilly?
Willie? There's so many things with this with this story. Now, I texted one of the SAPD spokespersons, and he tells me that the officer responded to a theft call. It was a homeless man, perceived homeless man, and we know this from Chief McManus. The guy tried to take the gun from the officer, and that's why he got shot. Also tried to use pepper spray, and that didn't work. I just can't believe that the cops responded to somebody stole my scissors 911 call. That somebody called 911 because a guy stole scissors. Now, granted, if he's homeless and he stole scissors and you were worried about that, sure. But it was a theft call that they responded to. And then they tracked him down. This didn't happen inside the restaurant. The cops tracked him down. Dude, you stole scissors? Seriously.
Well, I mean, there's got to be more details in that, right?
Yeah.
There has to be. And maybe this guy was hanging around and you know, he's a regular hanger-arounder, and they were just tired of him. And he, you know, they told him to leave, and he said, well, I'll show you. Give me those scissors. And he ran. And they just got tired of him hanging around, called the cops, and then it ensued. Now, according to the story, right, it's he ran at the officer with those scissors.
Yeah, attacked, according to Chief McManus. Well, attacked. I don't know with the scissors or without. But I
would assume it was with the scissors.
I mean, yes, but I mean, proper news people, we don't assume.
We don't. Are we proper news people?
We're not.
No.
Were they gold-plated?
They must have been.
I mean, could they? I mean, like maybe there was more to it. You know, like you do the ribbon cutting, and you got those big giant scissors, and then they look all fancy, and you put them in a frame and on the wall. If somebody steals those, I might call the cops. But just a random pair of scissors, and you got shot. Now, granted, he got shot for a variety of reasons, and probably deserved it. If he went after the officer and pepper spray didn't work. I'm not blaming the cop here, but I'm still baffled that, one, somebody would call the cops over scissors, and two, the cops actually responded to a scissor stealing.
Dude, I don't think you get to keep those big scissors after you have a grand opening.
You don't?
No, I don't think so. I think that's
the chamber keeps those?
That's the Chamber of Commerce special, so they have a...
I mean, for a small fee, though, you could probably keep them.
Well, I doubt it. I doubt it, because they have other openings they got to do. They can't buy a new pair of big scissors anytime they feel like it.
Where do you even buy those big scissors?
It's exactly right.
The big scissor store.
You probably have them made. That's why you can't keep them.
All right.
The Chamber of Commerce cuts your ribbon, and then adios.
I just have a feeling we're going to be in the national news.
Well, I think so, too. So now we've got the Express News and KSAT have reported on this story, and obviously with an officer involved, it's a big deal.
Yeah, well, I'm going to guess Ken's will have it, and KBB will have it. I mean, all the news people are going to have it, but the headline is, dude got shot for stealing scissors. And then you got to read the article to find out a little bit more.
Yeah, because that's not an accurate article, right? I mean, you think the cop just shot the dude because he stole some scissors, and that's not true.
I mean, well, in reality, it is, though. I mean, because the only reason why the cop is there to shoot the guy is because the guy stole scissors.
Well, and then he ran at said cop with the scissors.
And pepper spray didn't work initially.
Now, see, that's crazy. You ever been sprayed with pepper spray?
Yes, sir. I went to boot camp.
Dude,
it wasn't pepper spray. It was the whole gas mask thing. Wonderful day in boot camp. No, seriously, day. You know when it's gas chamber day at boot camp, because breakfast, the only thing that you had was Fruit Loops and Tricks. And because your company commander wanted to see a rainbow when everybody was throwing that up after being in the gas chamber.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got pepper sprayed at Texas State, Southwest Texas State.
Did you steal scissors?
No.
What'd you steal? Or what was her name?
Well,
you don't remember her name. You shouldn't be doing that, Ryan Eagle.
It wasn't that.
Oh, really?
No.
I mean, most guys that got pepper sprayed, especially on a college campus, were probably doing something they shouldn't do. You scared her.
I don't recall what exactly the name of the club was. It was the Animal House. I think that was a thing back then. I can't remember. I dressed all nice, but it was kind of, back in that day, we used to call it, you were dressed preppy, right? It was like nice polo long sleeve shirt, and I was all starched up and, blue jeans. And so I looked like a frat guy. At least this guy thought. And I walked by. I'm a little drunk, and this guy obviously drunk. And he made a disparaging remark about frats.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't let that stand.
Were you in the frat?
Yes.
Okay.
I couldn't let that stand, and so we kind of we didn't actually fight, but we were getting close. And the next thing I know, there's 3 bouncers coming out, and the next thing I see is a stream, bam, of that stuff right in my eyes. Dude, my eyes started watering like they had faucets running.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was unbelievable. And the next day I woke up with puffy eyes. Said, I'll never get in a fight there again.
You didn't even get in a fight?
No, they stopped it before it happened, but they knew it was happening.
And he would have kicked your ass, huh?
No, I don't think so. He's a little wimpy dude.
Uh-huh.
Come on.
He wasn't a frat guy.
He was not.
You were defending all frats.
I was.
Got pepper sprayed.
Exactly.
Sobered you up real quick.
Well, yeah, it did. I promise you it did. It was the worst thing. It's one and only time that's happened, but that happened.
Dude, anybody here listening that went through boot camp, you know exactly what I'm saying when you go through the gas chamber the first time. Because you go in, you've got your mask on, then you take your gas mask off. And
you have
then,
to?
Yeah, you have to.
Oh,
That's
wow.
part of the training. And then you stay in there for as long as you possibly can, but nobody comes out of there without losing their breakfast. And again, there's a reason I don't eat Trix or Fruit Loops, and I'll never eat them again.
Yeah, that's too bad for you. Those are 2 great cereals.
I'm just saying.
Trix and Fruit Loops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Post Toasties.
It's okay. Tricks are for kids anyway.
Oh, that's right. Well, the adventures of Joe and Jason.
Never been pepper sprayed by the cops.
Dude. Well, these weren't cops. They were bouncers.
Never been pepper sprayed by a bouncer.
I was, and I won't do it.
I've been in a massive bar fight before, though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've been in my share of bar fights.
Mm-hmm.
I was a knucklehead back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
A big one.
What do you mean back in the day?
Back in the day, I was a real knucklehead.
And now you're not?
No, of course not.
Really?
I'm a grown-up. I'm a man.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Yeah.
That soundbite's almost 40.
Dude, it is. You know it?
Speaking of maturing, George Pickens now a member of the Dallas Cowboys.
Is he maturing?
Ask him.
Time will tell.
We'll hear from good old George Pickens coming up here on the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Monday, plan on being with us at the Rue Pub, 281 and Redland Road. NBA draft party. Think about what it was like 2 years ago when the Spurs won the lottery and we knew we were going to get Wemby. Same deal. If the Spurs end up with the number 1 pick on Monday, the Rue Pub will pick up every open tab in there. It was an incredible event a couple of years ago, and let's hope for the same kind of magic this Monday. We're going to be out there 2 to 6. Now, you think about this weekend with all the games that are going on, you know there's no better place to go watch any of the games, the fights, those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. And when you go into the Rue Pub, go hungry. The food is fantastic. They got the biggest and best wings in town. I love their fried shrimp. About 15 different burgers on the menu, including the original Wemby burger. Now, if we end up with Cooper Flag, we got to figure out what that will be on the menu there at the Rue. We've got some ideas floating, and that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. Pledge says, how about a Maine lobster roll? Because that's where he's from. Lobster roll at the Rue. We'll talk to, we know people there. We might be able to get that done if Cooper Flag is going to be a Spur. Rue Pub happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night. and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant, the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Let's Rodeo San Antonio Brahmas style. The herd you love returns to the Alamo Dome for their Let's Rodeo theme game. Join us Friday, May 9th at 7 p.m. when your San Antonio Brahmas battle the DC Defenders. Dust off your boots and grab your cowboy hat to celebrate with rodeo-inspired fun for the whole family. Enjoy a pregame happy hour in the HEB Plaza with $3 frozen margaritas and beer. Get your tickets today at UFLBrahmas.com. That's UFLBrahmas.com for tickets. Our town, our team, our herd.
Listen up, San Antonio. At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can get college credit for the stripes you've earned. Turn your military rank into college credit to save time and money on an online degree. Eligible enlisted service members and previously enlisted veterans may receive up to 12 credits for select undergraduate courses based on their rank, and up to 90 credits in total for prior learning, military experience, and training. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu/SATX.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Progressive knows RV owners like to travel at a nice, relaxing pace. Just like this commercial. They're not rushing to a departure gate at the airport because they depart from their driveway. And they can relax even more knowing they're protected by Progressive. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635, and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Munnix. Friday afternoon.
We made it. It's Friday. The weekend is here.
Weekend is here.
Pretty happy about that. I know everybody gets happy on Friday, right? It's kind of hard not to. It's Friday. Unless, of course, you have to work on the weekend.
There's always that. But you don't, right?
No, I try not to anyway. Try not to. No.
Except for any time we're watching a game, we can claim we are working.
Well, that's true. If I'm sitting in my living room with a cold beer, I'm working.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we can drink on the job.
In my house, I can, but I'm still watching.
Well, we can drink on the job, just not between 2 and 6.
Oh.
We can't drink on the air. But if I'm watching a game, I've got to have a beer. It's required.
It is a requirement. It helps me think.
Yeah, sure. That makes sense. It's interesting when you think about all the talk about George Pickens. And there are stories out there, teams, are crazy to think they would trade for George Pickens during the draft. Like, he's got this reputation that some teams wouldn't touch him. Wanted nothing to do with this guy because of his attitude, his
immaturity.
All of it, right?
Yeah.
And he hurts the team with penalties. So when you dig around and you start looking back, last year he had 4 penalties. 2 of them were in one game, an unsportsmanlike and a taunting. That hurts the team. But the guy had 4 penalties all year. 19 wide receivers had 4 or more penalties. So how bad was he? Feels like he got 3 or 4 of those every game because that's what always makes all the highlights.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Well, that's true. And it's the penalties and it's the antics on the sideline. Look, you remember there was a year CeeDee Lamb did a bunch of that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But he stopped and he grew up and now he's turned into obviously a star wide receiver in the National Football League. Pickens can do the same thing, and he's got a perfect opportunity to do that. You can't sit on the sidelines and pout. I mean, you can't because there's cameras everywhere, and somebody's going to get you on camera doing that, and it's a bad look. There are things you have to do and have to be. When we talked to the reporter from Pittsburgh, she was talking about that, and you just can't do that. And then you have everybody in the locker room being asked about, well, what's wrong with George? How come George is pouting over here and doing that? I mean, it's a trickle-down effect, and it affects everybody.
He's coming from the Pittsburgh organization, and they have a well-run organization. I will question you when I hear Mike Tomlin has given up on you. There's other organizations out there that maybe a change of scenery is exactly what this guy needs. But Mike Tomlin gave up on you. So I question that. And you look at the history and you look at the reputation, and most dudes with a reputation like that, they have well-earned reputations. Although George Pickens, his meeting yesterday, his conference call with the Dallas media, he answered all the questions correctly. Now, there's a lot of guys out there that win press conferences all the time. Actions on the field are going to speak louder than his words. But his first words as a Dallas Cowboy, you got to say, all right, maybe he is learning and getting traded away, having a Mike Tomlin say, dude, you got to get out. Maybe that was the wake-up call that he needed. He was asked yesterday about the public perception of him.
I can't really, change anyone's opinion. Me personally, I just, like I said, continue to grow. I feel like everybody in the world has to grow. You get older and older as you grow. And like I said, I'm just trying to build a winning culture, which they already have at the Cowboys. I'm just glad to be joining it.
Look, you can change people's opinions.
Yep.
You absolutely can. And so all you have to do is go play football, do it in a professional way, and you will change. Look, he's a talented guy. Nobody's going to argue that. The guy's talented as hell. You do away with some of the antics away from that play, and people are going to have a difference of opinion. You're going to get paid a lot of money. You're in the last year of your rookie contract, so whether that's with the Cowboys or whether it's with somebody else, George Pickens, if he has a decent year this year, will make a lot of money moving forward.
He will. And again, right now he's got to put what happened in Pittsburgh behind him. And he did a great job of that in the conference call yesterday because he was given multiple opportunities to say things negatively about the Pittsburgh organization, and he didn't do it, including when asked about the comments Mike Tomlin made when Mike Tomlin said that he needs to grow up.
I feel like everybody in the world, is working on growing on their better end of themselves, and I feel like growth for me is taking a great direction and me coming to the Cowboys.
Hey, again, he's saying all the right things, and I will go on record again saying I'm all for this trade. I think it was a good low-risk, high-reward trade for the Dallas Cowboys. I think it was a good move. And so but you just change a few things. And what he said yesterday makes you feel like, well, maybe he has, or maybe somebody's talked to him and told him, look, dude, you've got a year to show everybody you're not that knucklehead, but you're just a good football player. There's going to be a little bit of it, and I think people can excuse that. But just to have the reputation that you have, and Draymond Green's another example of that. And maybe you get called for things that somebody else might not because of your reputation. And that's the kind of thing that hurts the ball club. And he's got an opportunity, a real opportunity here. And if I would sit down with the dude, it's like, man, dude, just play football, and you're going to make a lot of money.
Well, and you look at it, at some point, most people do mature. At some point.
Sure.
Right? He's 24 years old. He slipped to the second round partly because of attitude, right? Work ethic. Those were questions. Yet the Pittsburgh Steelers still took him in the second round. And I think Mike Tomlin does have a type when it comes to wide receivers because he's had a lot of receivers through the years that have a lot of talent. And if that group, Pittsburgh, don't get them to come around, they get rid of them. And there's a weird stat out there that receivers that have left the Pittsburgh organization, and not always by their choice, they're not as good elsewhere as they are or were in Pittsburgh. So it'll be interesting to see if George Pickens can change that. Now, he's coming to a Dallas situation where you have a strong quarterback and you've got another bona fide superstar wide receiver. So there's going to be the talk about wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. There's no doubt in Dallas what the pecking order is right now, and it will be that way. CeeDee Lamb is wide receiver 1. Now, George Pickens, you're wide receiver 2. Although if you want to call yourself 1B, that's fine with us.
I'll probably most definitely say on the outside. You guys make it a 1A, 1B, and all of this. Honestly, that's the first time I've heard any of that stuff. I feel like 2 receivers are kind of normal. When I used to watch football, there was always a good receiver, and then there was always another good receiver on the side of him. So I just feel like we're going to work off each other very well.
I think they will too. And again, the Cowboys passing attack and Dak Prescott, that offense, the entire offense really's got no excuse. This going in, they have set this offense up to succeed. There's no question about it. If everybody stays healthy, this offense should put some points on the board. You got 2 quality wide receivers. You've got a good tight end. Hopefully we'll have a better year this year than he had last year. And I think you've got a good running game. I really do. With what you've got, Javonte Williams, I'm betting on that guy. I'm not going to say he's a 1,000-yard rusher, but I'm betting on that guy this year because I think he's going to be the real deal. And then Jaden Blue gives you a change of pace running back that they haven't had. They haven't had that 1-2 punch, and they've got it this year. And I think it's going to be it's going to pay off. That offense is ready to roll.
When you look at it, Brian Schottenheimer has been given what he needs, and you go everything that we talked about leading up to the draft. What do the Cowboys need? A solid wide receiver 2 option, an explosive weapon. They didn't do that. They had a sensible draft. And I think now you could probably look back. Jerry told us he was on the phone working on a couple of big trades. Still wanted a receiver in the draft. It seemed like they wanted McMillan when he went early. That's off the board. Let's build the offensive line. And maybe Jerry was able to say, you know what, we don't need to draft one of these other receivers because I'm pretty confident we're going to get this Pickens deal done. And they only gave up a 3rd-round pick. And if George leaves in a year and goes somewhere else, they get a 3rd-round compensatory pick. So the pick they traded, they're going to get back a year later, but they're going to get that back. So very low risk, high reward, because if you can add the yards that you expect from a George Pickens, who 800 yards his rookie year, 1140, played 14 games last year, had 900 yards. And think about the quarterbacks that dude has played with. Think about the quarterbacks that George Pickens has played with. So now you have CeeDee Lamb, who you know is going to get attention. Pickens is going to be wide open. Pickens is great going downfield. Dak's really good at throwing those passes. It looks like this is the perfect type player to fit in the Cowboys system, even if it might not be the perfect person. The human side of it, can the Cowboys get the problems that George had in Pittsburgh somehow resolved and him have a different attitude walking into the Star and playing with the Star on his helmet?
He better, because you know how things are amplified in Dallas. And you think he caught a lot of heat in Pittsburgh, it will be 3 or 4 times that in Dallas if you start doing that stuff. It just will, because everybody is going to tell you all about the Dallas Cowboys and their players and what they're doing. So he's going to see a difference if he acts that same way. It's going to be magnified big time. So, but again, good move. Let's see what he can do. And he's going to go through all the OTAs, then training camp, and he'll be familiar with the offense, should be by game 1, and this team should be ready to roll. I really have an optimistic outlook of the Cowboys' offense. The defense, I think, still some holes, especially when you're talking about the secondary. But offensively, I think they're stacked and they're ready to go.
Well, what did Jerry tell us? He's working on 2 trades. Jalen Ramsey's still available.
He is, and I honestly believe Trayvon Diggs is done in Dallas. I really do.
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I don't disagree with you. Medically, you look at his contract and you look at the shape his knee is in. Although, kind of interesting, he's been posting some workout videos.
Sure.
So, and again, guys post videos because they want to show progress. They want to be out there. People are talking about me. And last thing you want is to be forgotten about and to be replaced while you're out injured. But I'm with you. With his contract and what you've gotten since you signed him, you know, we always give Jerry crap for not signing guys early. Well, they did with Diggs.
They did.
And it's biting him in the ass because he got hurt. Now, you can't fault a guy for getting hurt, especially that kind of injury. But at the same time, he's one that actually Jerry got done early, and you haven't gotten any production out of him since then.
I think this year is really the last year they're on the hook for a lot of money with his contract. So after this year, they will have choices to be made. And maybe it's good that he's putting it out there, because you talk about a possible trade. If people see that Trayvon Diggs is healthy, then maybe the Cowboys can move him. Who knows?
Going to be interesting. What's the matter?
I left my damn Yeti on the water thing.
And you're yelling at me?
Well, I am.
Like all of a sudden, I take a drink and I see Joe's like pointing. I thought something, is on fire over here.
Well, that's what it reminded me. You reminded me. You took a drink and I looked over and there's nothing there in front of me. I'm like, damn it. I do that all the time. Listen to Greg Shelton bitch about the refrigerator.
Well, hold on. Greg Shelton bitching. Hang on. Stop the presses. That never happens.
It's a day that ends in Y.
So what happened?
Well, Shelton's cleaning. He sent an email last week and said, this Friday, get everything out of your refrigerator, because I'm cleaning them out. And he said, bitching about somebody left a ice chest looking thing in there with some old food and some other things. And I was laughing at him and forgot my water.
So you're blaming Shelton?
I'm blaming it's Shelton's fault, yeah. So at this break, I got to walk back over there and get it.
Aww.
I know. Sucks.
Why don't you text Shelton and have him bring it to you?
I'm sure he would get right on that. Oh, man. Good stuff.
I was like wondering what was going on. You're wailing your arms?
Well, I was mad at myself.
Snake fall through the ceiling or something?
I was mad at myself because you took a drink, and as soon as you did that, I'm thirsty. And I look over there and I go, damn it. It's like, man.
Cavs Pacers tonight. Indiana leads that series 2-0. You can listen to it right here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star starting at 6 o'clock. Now, you want to have a little bit more fun, add some excitement to watching that game. You can if you're playing the Pick'em game at Underdog. They're going to score buckets. You could score cash on Underdog, one of the leading sports apps out there with over 100,000 five-star reviews. Love playing the Pick'em game where all you have to do is pick higher or lower on player stats like points, assists, rebounds. And you can play for as little as $1 and win up to 1,000 times your money. So download the Underdog app. Use my promo code STAR when you sign up to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, use promo code STAR when you sign up at Underdog. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Looking for a place with character, cold drinks, and real Texas charm? Pull up a chair at the Lion and Rose in the Dominion. This local favorite, run by the Tharp family, serves up Southern hospitality, military pride, and seriously good food. Happy hour daily from 3 till 7 p.m. with $2.50 drafts, select wine, wells, and mimosas. Plus, tasty bites from just $5. Big screens, bold flavors, and a patio made for post-game hangs. Now open at 23330 West I-10. The Lion and Rose.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Gentlemen, testosterone levels can start dropping in your 30s, leading to low energy, reduced libido, and slower metabolism. Rock's Discount Vitamins is making it easy to take back control. No appointments and no prescriptions. Just head into a Rock's and walk out with a natural solution tailored to you. Our powerful line of natural testosterone boosters can help increase energy, build muscle, rev up your metabolism, and reignite your drive. You'll feel the difference and fast. Visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God in South Texas.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's the forgetful Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix on a Friday afternoon.
All is good now. Well hydrated.
Well, Steve Foster, who texted to say, hey, dude, I work on weekends. You can listen to Foster's show, Laying Down the Law, Sunday mornings from 7 to 9 a.m. Says he carries 2 water bottles to the studio, so that doesn't happen, but he's going to Amazon Prime Joe a new water bottle. Isn't that nice of Steve?
Well, that's really nice of you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like this one, though. This is a gift from Jerry Jones.
Sort of.
Kind of, right?
Sure.
Is it? Was it Jerry? It was Jerry, wasn't it?
Well, if you want to claim that, but no. Jerry doesn't know you have that.
Well, of course he does.
No, he doesn't.
Jerry knows.
The Yeti people, and it was the strangest thing. So we're at Cowboys camp, and the Yeti people, they're a sponsor of the Cowboys, they were handing out Yeti mugs, and we all thought, oh, cool. And then you realize it's just blue. There was no logo on it,
No
which
star.
I thought was kind of weird.
Yeah, that's
if
kinda
it was
weird.
from Jerry, there'd be a star on and a $40 tab.
Jerry knows. It was nice of the Yeti people.
Yes.
To bring those by.
Yes.
Free stuff is always good, isn't it?
Now,
I don't know what this costs to buy it, but I would assume
Probably
it's
$40 at least,
yeah,
if
right.
not more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's the fancy new Yeti that you can put in the dishwasher. That's what the Yeti people were telling us.
I haven't put it in there yet.
No, me neither.
Growing mold and everything in the bottom.
Oh, you wash it every day, don't you?
Not every day.
Well,
not every day.
You don't rinse it out every day?
It's got water in it. I don't wash it every day. I don't see the point. It's only had water in it. I'll wash it a couple times a week. Figure that's good enough.
Good enough. Hadn't killed you yet. Is that what you're saying?
Still kicking.
Mm-hmm. I just saw another update on the Pope and his sports fandom.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so by now everybody knows that the Pope is from Chicago. Now, the greatest tweet, comment I've seen about the Pope being from Chicago is from Annie Agar, who says, Chicago produced a Pope before a 4,000-yard passer. That one's fantastic. And the Chicago Cubs immediately post out on their marquee that the Pope is from Chicago and he's a Cubs fan. The Pope's brother did an interview with the TV station there in Chicago and said, dude grew up a White Sox fan. Now there's actual photos of him at the White Sox World Series in 2005.
Wow.
Which was awful because they beat the Astros there.
It's the last time they've been good, I think.
I mean, but also apparently he hates Jerry Reinsdorf. It's weird to see a headline about a Pope hating anybody.
Yeah, well, that's true.
But when it comes to sports, you understand.
It's a sports fan.
Yes.
Dude, that got out that he was a Cubs fan, and the family said, oh, we can't have that out.
No.
We got to change that quick. Nobody wants to admit they're a Cubs fan. Are you kidding me? Horrible.
The Cubs have a national fan base.
Well, they do, but
there's Cub fans out there, sir.
You don't want to admit it.
Why not?
It's like you got to keep that quiet. I'm a Cubs fan. No. Ugh.
You don't stay in the closet if you're a Cubs fan.
Dude, you need to.
Why?
Why? Because they suck.
Well,
Cub fan.
Your Cardinal fan is showing.
It is. It's just a natural.
And everybody hates Cardinal fan, you arrogant SOBs.
Oh, yeah. Hello, Pot. Cowboy and Texas fan. There's no arrogance there.
No, I didn't say there's not. But, I mean, you look at what's the most arrogant besides the Yankees and Dodgers?
Okay.
All right.
And they win head and shoulders above everybody else.
And then you get arrogant Cardinal fans that think they're the best fans and the most smart fans in all of baseball.
Well, they are.
See?
It's true. I think it's factual. I think it's in the encyclopedia.
What?
Cardinal fans are the most knowledgeable and best fans in Major League Baseball.
Yet the Pope, who was a Cardinal, is a White Sox fan, not a Cardinals fan.
I know. You know, you can't be perfect.
He's the Pope, sir.
Well, exactly, but he can't be perfect.
And he's an admitted White Sox fan. Although he hasn't admitted it, his family has outed him as a White Sox fan.
Exactly. Because they knew the family reputation was on the line. Boy, Wrigley Field's got it up to we're Cub fans. Can't have that. Especially if they live on the south side of Chicago?
Yeah.
Isn't that where the White Sox play? I have no idea where. Chicago Cubs.
And you would kill to go to a game at Wrigley.
I would if it was, and I'd proudly wear my Cardinals gear
and get your ass kicked.
Never. There's more Cardinal fans at Wrigley when they play than there are Cub fans.
Well, sure. I mean, because a lot of people go to the game because the stadium itself is legendary. Maybe the Cubs aren't.
Well, the Cubs suck. I mean, They do. And I got Bobby signs on here. Yeah, Cubs are in first place. It's frickin' May. Talk to me in October.
And your Cardinals are where?
They're just 3 games behind the Cubs. They struggle a little bit. They're on a 5-game winning streak at the moment.
The Cardinals are?
Yes, they are. How about that?
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me in October, Bobby.
They're 19-19.
Yeah.
And they're in second place in the Central.
Yes.
The Astros are 18-18, and they're in third place in the AL West. Rangers are 18-20. End of May, Blitz, we're going to the Cardinals-Rangers game.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah, I wonder why we're going to that game.
I put in a special request. We're going to do our show there on the Friday. See the game Friday night.
I don't think that we're supposed to talk about that yet.
Are we not?
I don't know. I mean,
we may have some special gifts associated with that.
But what does that mean?
I'm just saying. It's a tease.
What do you mean? Nobody cares if we're getting a special gift.
Not
the fact that we're going to give away tickets to go to that game and kind of hang out at the ballpark.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Gifts for the listeners.
Well, you got to, if you're going to tease it properly,
well,
sir.
I'm just saying.
We're getting special gifts. Well, yeah, we probably get some special treatment when we go, and we're going to do our show there in the outfield.
So I shouldn't wear my Cardinal shirt, huh?
You can wear what you want. What I'm worried about.
Saturday I will. Friday I won't.
You wuss. We're starting that May 19th?
Is that when it is? Starting May 19th?
So, Pledge, did you go to the meeting about this? Because I didn't. I've just seen a couple of emails and go, they'll fill me in later on the details.
No, I'm on a PRF. Looks like we got tickets to give away all week starting Monday.
Next week?
No.
The 19th.
The 19th.
The week of the
week from Monday.
So we're not going to give a whole lot of people time to plan ahead.
Well, it gives them plenty of time.
They have to, now they know.
Yeah.
Plan on winning next week. Plan on being in Arlington on
So
Friday.
what does it say? Are we giving away pairs to that game? 5 pairs? Is that what I heard?
I think a pair a day.
A pair a day?
Yeah. You can go hang with us. What do they call that stadium now?
Globe Life Field.
Yeah, that's it.
Globe Life Field, yeah.
It doesn't specify.
All right, good.
Just says win tickets.
Perfect. I think
Cool.
they're pairs. I think we're giving away several pairs of tickets.
Well, you're on alert.
And we'll do that the week of the 19th. And then the game is on the 30th. Yep. And but we're doing the show in the outfield.
That's going to be great.
Well, kind of.
What do you mean, kind of? That's going to be awesome.
Well, except for when batting practice is going on, we're we're kind of in a target-rich environment, and our back is probably going to be to the field.
That's okay.
Uh-huh.
That's fine.
Have you seen my bald spot? That could be a target for a ball.
You really could, man. That'd be like a shining light.
We'll have to,
Hit it here.
We might actually have to take James Pledger with us just to shag balls and protect us.
No, y'all be fine. There's no way I can turn around any of that video into a meme or anything like that.
No, not at all. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it, too. It's going to be fun. And just keep that in mind, folks. Anybody listening right now, May 19th, we'll
that week of.
The week of.
Especially, I mean, look. We want to take Ranger fans there, but we know there's fans of that other team of the game we're going to. Although
the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, whatever they are.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing those diehard fans, like the guy that calls himself Redbirds Junkie, your team's coming to Texas, to Arlington.
He already said he was going.
Yeah, if you're a Cardinal fan, you already have tickets.
You have to.
I mean, because if you're a true fan and your team is coming close, you go.
You have to go.
Just like those bandwagon Yankee fans like the Wookiee, who is blowing up my phone for saying you are arrogant. And if you've met the Wookiee, you understand that is a true statement. But when the Yankees are close, you go.
Sure you do. You have to. Yankee fan. Goodness gracious. That's in the same list as Cub fans. And then there's Dodger fans, which are right there too.
See, and I could understand those in San Antonio that root for the Dodgers if you're Reinegel's age and older. Well, because back then the Missions were a part of the Dodgers, and there were a lot of Dodger fans here because you would see them all rolling through old VJ Keefe Stadium and the Dodger dollies and everything that was out there, and then they'd go up to the big leagues. I mean, a lot of the legendary Dodgers were here in San Antonio for quite some time.
Fernando Valenzuela was one of them.
Oral is one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, so many great. And so when you look at that, like if you're old and you didn't want the Colt 45s back in the day or the Astros Rangers, you were that kid in school and you chose the Dodgers because of the Missions, I'll give you that.
Okay.
To a degree.
Yeah. Best team money can buy.
Go Astros.
You notice the Yankees, and by the way, Wookie, this is for you. The Yankees are playing well because of a former Cardinal who you guys got this year and is playing very well. And I wish he would have played that well for St. Louis.
And his name would be?
Paul Goldschmidt.
Oh, yeah.
So you're welcome, Wookie.
Does that make you kind of a quasi-Yankee fan?
Not at all. He's dead to me.
Because I remember a couple years ago when we were up there, you saw him and you acted like a 12-year-old boy. Oh, my God, there's Paul. You're right there.
Exactly.
You were excited.
I was
You
excited.
could barely stand up. You were so excited.
I was excited. Not sure I did stand up.
No, I don't think you did. Not for a couple of minutes anyway.
Yeah, I was excited. Absolutely. Guy just never panned out in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ends up with the Yankees.
Ends up with the Yankees. Don't they all end up with the Yankees?
Well, again, somebody's going to buy it. And a lot of times, whether it's New York or L.A., you throw that label on it, and it's going to be good. Although, I don't know if you saw this news today. NBC, after one season, has canceled Suits L.A.
Is that a bad thing?
If I guess you don't watch Suits.
I don't.
Did you watch the original Suits?
No, didn't watch that either.
Really?
No. Suits.
You didn't watch about old Harvey Specter? And the Queen was in there?
I did not.
Really?
No.
That's a great show.
That's great.
Suits was fantastic.
Awesome.
Suits L.A. sucks.
Yeah. Suits.
Sucks. It's about lawyers. It's an educated show, sir.
Gotcha.
No wonder you don't watch it.
Exactly.
And you know how lawyers are.
I know.
It's talking about arrogance. Harvey Specter. You didn't watch Suits?
No, I didn't.
Wow. So many good shows out there that you don't watch.
Well, I not, sometimes I'll go home and watch TV, or it's usually sports. I'll go out on the back patio with a cocktail and watch whatever is sporting event on, especially this time of year. Now I got my magic box. I can watch the Cardinal games, and it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just saying.
But the shows that you watch, I mean, when you get into a show, you get into it, and you watch
I do.
And
Reacher was the last one I was into, but we haven't started anything else.
Well, see, and even like Night Agent, the season 2 of that was kind of
See, I watched that though. I liked it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Season 2?
Yeah.
But you don't watch Suits.
I don't watch Suits. No, I don't. And obviously, nobody else does. They're canceling the damn thing.
No, Suits Los Angeles is getting canceled. The original Suits was fantastic.
Well, I guess those lawyers in L.A. aren't as good as where were they from in the original one?
New York.
Well, there you go. New York wins again.
Yeah, always. Well, it's all about the cast. I mean, it was kind of built up like things went south in the New York office, and they were all going to go out west, and that's not the case.
Wow.
Do you watch Suits, Pledge? Did you watch original Suits?
Yeah, original Suits is great.
Did you watch Suits LA?
I'm starting it because I like Stephen Amell.
Which one is he?
He's the main character in the new one. He was the guy that was buddies with Harvey from New York.
Okay. Yeah, he kind of sucks. I don't know. I mean, I've been watching it, but I'm probably 3 episodes behind because I never watch anything on time.
Well, then why are you watching it? It sucks. Obviously, they're canceling it.
Well, I was hoping it would get better, but now that I know that's canceling, I might not have to go back to it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. You're going to waste your time.
Well, you're watching all these shows killing hours anyway.
Well,
but I'll go find something. I do need to find some new shows, though. It's that time.
I do,
because I finished White Lotus. Have you started White Lotus yet?
No, I haven't done that.
Good Lord.
Surprised you even asked. You knew the answer.
White Lotus. Everybody.
Because I told him about it, and he said, I'm going to start it.
Well, that's the one show that everybody says is great. I mean, you and there's a lot of other people. So I guess I'm going to have to start that at some point.
Righteous Gemstones.
Righteous Gemstones.
Dude, I want to go home and like tonight. I mean, you got the cards with.
We started The Studio last night.
The Studio.
Yeah. First 2, it's about movie studios in L.A. It's pretty good.
I'm sure it's great.
With Seth Rogen. And drawing a blank on the name. Happy Days guy, Rich Cunningham. What's his real name?
Oh, Opie.
Opie. He's in one of these episodes. It's incredible. That one's pretty good. There's another one that I'm kind of watching that's pretty good. But it's almost that time where you need some new shows.
Righteous Gemstones is about those super pastor. It's about the lifestyle of them, and it's
about the what?
Those like super pastors.
Super pastors?
Yeah, like
those TV preachers.
Yeah,
like the dude that has the in the old Rockets arena, Joel Osteen. Yeah. Those guys are Cornerstone over here.
Yeah, it's about literally, it's about the real life of family of one of them, but it's hysterical. Like
wow. Sam says he's in season 4 of Righteous Gemstones. Ron Howard, yes, thank you for that.
Ron
Big
Howard,
Red
that's
Three.
Yeah.
And Gilbert says, Joe, you should start watching a show called The Golden Girls.
I've seen it.
Not surprised.
Oh, I think all those
just saw it last night.
Well, they're all gone, aren't they?
Yeah, but the reruns live on, man. Joe's favorite channel is TV Land.
Well, Andy Griffith, man, that's a damn good show. You got to start watching that, Minix.
Really?
Yeah, you really should. It's fantastic.
Murder, She Wrote.
Fantastic. I never got into that.
Matlock.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, are you watching Blue Bloods?
No.
The Andy Griffith Show.
All right.
Andy's good because I can get up early on a Saturday morning. Maggie's still asleep, but I can go through 2 or 3 episodes of the old Andy Griffith Show.
Green Acres.
It's fantastic.
I hear it's the place to be.
It is. Dude, don't knock those shows. Gilligan's Island. I mean, come on. The Brady Bunch.
Marsha.
That's right. A big old crush on Marsha, as did everybody else.
Three's Company.
I kind of like Jan better, though. Well, who were you? Were you a Mary or Ginger fan?
What?
In Gilligan's Island.
Marianne.
Marianne, right? Everybody was.
Oh, my God. What was the spinoff of Different Strokes?
We're still talking about TV shows?
What you talking about, Willis?
Are we talking about the Jeffersons or
no? With the schoolgirls.
Maude?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, dude. Hogan's Heroes, man, that was a good one. Wow, Big Red 3 brought that one up. That was good.
How old is our audience?
Wow, the Munsters. Damn. See, They just don't make TV like they used to. That's for sure. The Partridge Family. Remember that one?
Begrudgingly.
Yeah. Well, Susan Day was all right. She was good.
Facts of life. Thank you. Yeah, I knew Sam would come through. Although I think the Wookiee hits the nail on the head. It's all about Daisy Duke.
Well, sure. Daisy Duke was good. Absolutely.
And you think about those TV shows like T.J. Hooker because Heather Locklear.
Yeah. Well, what was the one with the lifeguards?
Baywatch. Pam Anderson, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Gina Lee Nolan. Oof.
That was good, too.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie's Angels.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. Look, Tom Guerrero says News 4 anchor. There's a News 4 anchor. Looks like Jan. Is that Mandy Noel? Is that?
Well, that's what he says.
That's what he says.
Did we run out of old shows?
I don't know. We'll think of a couple of. Leave it to Beaver. It was the old joke there.
We still talking about old-time TV?
Honey.
Or not. Tell me about the Golf Club of Texas, Joe.
Honey, you're a little hard on the Beaver last night.
Eject.
Oh, my goodness. It's not time to talk about the Golf Club of Texas.
It really isn't.
No, it's not.
I just see it's next up there on the board. We'll tell you about the Golf Club of Texas at 5:14 right before we talk with Jon Machota. We'll figure out something real to talk about. Maybe. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1, it's Friday. San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
6 for 6, and the Aggies have the lead.
Your home for Aggies football. KTFM Floresville.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Spring is here, and in South Texas, that means storms, wind, rain, and hail. If you've been hit by a storm or think you have damage, now is the time to contact Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. Don't put your trust in an out-of-town storm chaser. Stevens Roofing is a family-owned, locally based company who will be here for years to come. The team at Stevens Roofing and Solar will give you peace of mind when the storms come rolling in. Call 210-785-0994 for Stevens Roofing.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. Divorce is tough. It's emotional, challenging, and can upend everything you've worked hard for. But here's the truth. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control and protect your financial future. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about protecting what you've built, securing your assets, and ensuring you have the resources to move forward with confidence. You've worked hard for everything you have, and we're here to help safeguard it and avoid unnecessary losses. If you're serious about protecting yourself through the divorce process and securing your future, Barton & Associates is the team you need by your side. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place. For changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
What's up, baseball fans? It's time to swing big on your bets this season. Step up to the plate with an odds boost token from BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. No opt-in is required. Just log into your BetMGM account to receive your odds boost token. Then place a bet on any MLB game and activate your token. If your boosted bet hits, you'll score a bigger payout. No matter the showdown, BetMGM is your betting home for baseball. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 1 to 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
It's almost Mother's Day, and you can now get anything you need delivered with Uber Eats. Well, almost anything. So no, you can't order a relaxing shower, but some beautiful flowers, you bet we deliver those. A bird bath? No. A bath bomb? Absolutely. It's no to a chocolate lab, but yes to some chocolate truffles. So whether it's a last-minute gift for Mother's Day, fresh groceries, or food from your favorite restaurants, get it delivered today with Uber Eats. Order now. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
The Lion and Rose at the Dominion, your daily happy hour spot from 3 till 7 p.m. 250 drafts, wine, wells, and bites from just $5. Big screens, bold flavors, and a patio made for post-game hangs. Lion and Rose at 23330 West I-10.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
We've got playoff basketball tonight. In fact, a couple of games. And I wish I had my script so I know which ones they are. Dude, have you ever done this?
We've got Cleveland and Indiana coming up, followed by Oklahoma City and Denver. No script needed, sir.
Thank you very much. That was a great save, Minix.
Brahmas play tonight at 7 in the Dome.
That's Sports Center, folks.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. It's Friday. It's obvious.
It's big time Friday. Dude, we're looking at a video over here, and Pledge says you got 20 seconds. I said, come back over here. Okay, no problem. And I'm looking up here, and there's no Sports Center script. I must have clicked off of it, and it's like, well, I'm screwed.
And you don't remember what the games are?
Well, I did not. No, I'm panicking over here.
You're
know
panicking
what I mean?
over there. Look,
yeah.
I mean, when you're doing live broadcasting, stuff happens. And how you handle it when it happens, you got to roll with the punches. Did you see what happened last night on Fox News?
Wow.
And this is scary, but I don't understand what the anchor dude was doing when, I think her name is Cameron Kinsey, passed out in the middle of her segment.
Ideology, or it's not about...
Oh my goodness. We're just going to get some help here for Cameron. Let me come back to Lydia while we get some help for Cameron here. Lydia, the President, we're going to go to a break right here. We'll be right back.
That's a good idea.
Why didn't you just immediately go to break?
Eject.
Like, oh, yeah, you passed out over there. Okay, where are we jumping to on the prompter? Our next segment? Let's see. Are we going to bring in this guy over here on screen? No, just go to commercial break and get her the help she needs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, she just... man, that's the video we were looking at, and the girl's talking, and then all of a sudden she just stops, and bam. That's the craziest thing.
Oh, my goodness. Just go to commercial break. Or why didn't the director just take it to commercial break instead of the anchor dude trying to do anchor dude things?
Well, I mean, at the time, you don't know what the hell's going on, and you're certainly not expecting that. So, wow. That's crazy.
She tweeted out this morning, "Wow, sorry for the scare last night." She then thanked EMTs, quote, "It was an unexpected and frightening moment, but thanks to their professionalism and kindness, I'm doing well. I'm taking it slow, staying hydrated, letting my body rest, and thanking the Lord that everything is okay." May not have been how I planned to end the segment, but I'll be back on your TV soon, hopefully long enough to actually finish my point about Kamala. It was Fox News.
Wow, I tell you, so she was probably dehydrated, right?
Probably dehydrated.
And just fainted. And sometimes, I'll be honest with you, you get under those lights, and it's just a different world, right? So things happen. Dude, when I first started at Ken's, I'll never forget it. It was a noon broadcast doing sports, and I could see the prompter. I could read the words in my mind, but I couldn't get them out. I thought I was having a stroke right there on the set. There's no kidding.
Really?
The anchor's name was Don Hammond, and he didn't know what the hell to do. Cindy Cassiano was there too, and I think Jim Thomas was the weather guy at that time. And Hammond went to a break, and he said, "We got to go to a break." And I'm thinking I'm having a stroke, and so I leave there and go to the doctor, and they said, "No, I have migraines, and something happened, and something clicked." It's the only time that ever happened, but it was when I first started, and I bring that up because the lights, and we have nice, I don't know what you call these things now. LEDs. Back then they weren't.
No.
Right? And so they were bright, and so I guess it just messed with my mind. It was the weirdest damn thing.
I can imagine. It's scary. I remember when Erica was little and she had seizures, and it's just so scary because all of a sudden, you just kind of space a little bit and go. And same thing when you're dehydrated. I mean, you pass out, you pass out. When you do it live on television, then
it's a little bit different now, right?
Well, it's embarrassing, but
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe the guy was trying to continue on with the segment. Dude, just go to break.
Well, yeah.
Just go to break.
Well, it's easy to say that now, but, I mean, when you're sitting there and this happens and you're going, what the hell is going on? You got to process that, and he didn't know what to do. He's like panicking, and he's
Probably
got
screaming people in his ear.
somebody in his ear, and he didn't know what the hell to do. So
Pledge, a little on-the-job training, a little training exercise. If Joe or I pass out in the middle of a segment, just go to break.
Go to break.
And turn the camera off.
Yeah, hopefully that won't happen.
Glad she's
But
okay.
You never know. Well, I'm glad she is, too. Glad she gave us an update. How'd you find that update? You follow her on Twitter or what?
I know Pledge sent me an email.
Okay.
He also sent you an email, too. I'm glad you did a lot of show prep on this.
No, he didn't send me an email.
You really got an email.
No.
You do.
I don't. I'm telling you I don't.
You're telling
Where
me you
is
don't.
it? I don't see it. Is it here? No. He sent it to you only.
Well, because he knows I read my email.
I would have been happy to read it.
I mean, he sent you the video, too, and you didn't see that until just now.
Well, you guys sent it on Twitter DM, and I'm like,
that's how we show prep, sir.
who the hell reads that?
All of us.
Except me.
That's how we get info. I mean, we share emails, we share DMs, WhatsApp.
Except Joe, he emails the Twitter highlights to us.
I don't know
Copy
how,
and paste everything.
I don't know how to do it otherwise.
I mean, we are dealing with old people here,
do
man.
you get it, though, Pledge? You get it, don't you? That's the main thing. You receive what you need to receive.
Same way you do. Only one of us finds it, though.
I'm glad it's Friday. Very happy about that.
Just think, man. Those that copy and paste the entire Twitter thing instead of sending it through a DM gets to play the old man tees at the golf club at Texas.
That's right. They got brand new tees out there. Have you seen those tee markers?
I have.
Man, they are schwanky. I know Bo showed us, but they actually put them out on the course. They're out there now. That's fantastic. It's just one of the many, many improvements that they have made to the Golf Club of Texas. It's fantastic. Look, if you haven't been out there lately, you haven't been out there. I mean, it's just that simple. This place is completely different than anything you might remember if it's been a while since you've been out there to play. It's not a private club, but it certainly has that country club feel. It's unbelievable. It's open to the public 7 days a week, and it offers some of the best course conditions in town with the friendliest staff. And I'm going to tell you, you go out there, they have put in new sod everywhere. They have zero-scaped. It's picturesque is the best way to describe it, and brand new golf cart paths. all over that golf course. They have spent some money, and I tell you what, it is worth it. And let me tell you about the food out there at the Tin Cup Bar and Grill, some of the best around. And the good thing about it is it doesn't break the bank. It's not something where you're going to go and spend a lot of money, but the food is fantastic. They've got any kind of cocktail you want, all kinds of beer options as well. It is just a great place. Make time to get out to the Golf Club of Texas. In fact, you want to make reservations, tee times, you go to golfclubtexas.com. golfclubtexas.com. And you know exactly where it is. It's right there off Briggs Ranch Road, off Highway 90. Whether you're headed out there for dinner at the Tin Cup, around with your buddies, or your next tournament, get out there and see this beautiful golf course. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
The Morning Huddle.
Kurt Miller, the GM of the Dallas Wings, which I don't know if naming your franchise after a feminine product is the best way to do it. I just always assumed it was like they were hoping to get
I don't think that they named themselves after a panty liner, man. I don't think that.
I thought they were trying to get that MaxiPad sponsorship.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and have been representing people injured in auto and commercial truck collisions right here in San Antonio, my hometown, since 1994. Getting into a collision can be a life-altering event. Your health and recovery is the only thing that really matters, and anyone that's ever been injured in a traffic collision will tell you that. How do you get the insurance company to pay? Simple. Call me. As your attorney, my job is to get you through this. The decisions you make immediately after a collision are the most important decisions you can make. If you call me as soon as you can after a collision, I will help you make the right decisions for you and your family. Remember, I do not charge for a consultation. Growing up on the southwest side of San Antonio, when Loop 410 was the edge of town, I know how overwhelming it could be to face a giant insurance company all on your own. Just keep it simple. Call me. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website at lawyerforus.com.
Hey, San Antonio, multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country, it all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Another checkup? Why are so many people getting new puppies?
Dr. Kim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks, but who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, good boy.
She needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Let's Rodeo San Antonio Brahma style. The herd you love returns to the Alamo Dome for their Let's Rodeo theme game. Join us Friday, May 9th at 7 p.m. when your San Antonio Brahmas battle the DC Defenders. Dust off your boots and grab your cowboy hat to celebrate with rodeo-inspired fun for the whole family. Enjoy a pregame happy hour in the H-E-B Plaza with $3 frozen margaritas and beer. Get your tickets today at UFLBrahmas.com. That's UFLBrahmas.com for tickets. Our town, our team, our herd.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check the GPS directions first, before driving to the mall.
Turn right at the light. In 1,000 miles, you will reach Montreal.
Not Montreal, the mall.
Recalculating. 6,000 miles to Nepal.
No, the mall.
Checking first is smart.
Recalculating.
So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Cowboys play here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Always going for it, never pump. Fourth down, last call, Hail Mary, Prescott.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. We're going to stop making fun of Joe's age for a while, although at Mudslingers TX tweets, attaboy at Joe Reinagel, and it's a thumbs up getting faxed,
Yes.
which is appropriate. Big week for the Dallas Cowboys. Let's talk about it. Jon Machota from The Athletic joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. You know, I guess the tea leaves, John, before the draft, Jerry talked about working the phones on a major trade, no wide receiver in the draft. Then they end up making a trade for George Pickens. Safe to say that Jerry probably knew that trade was going to happen, so they didn't have to draft a wide receiver?
Yeah, that's interesting the way you put it, because I do think they would have taken Tet McMillan at 12 if he was still there. So I think that Jerry liked having this possibly as a fallback. Now, the Steelers said today, their GM, Omar Khan, said that, you know, this is something the Cowboys approached him about earlier this week, you know, so one or the other at some point was reaching out. And so I believe this is one of the deals that Jerry was talking about, but I think that they would have been fine not doing it if they get Tet McMillan. And so because he was gone, I don't think they felt like reaching for a receiver. I think they thought that there were some other options in their back pocket. It could have been this. It could have been Rashad Bateman, maybe something else. And so, you know, they make this move, which I think has a lot of upside, but obviously comes with some risk.
Well, you know, John, that's absolutely, and that's what we've been talking about, and Cowboy fans as well, I think, are excited about the fact that the Cowboys went out and made a deal. You've got a number 2 wide receiver, a guy that's obviously very talented, but he does come with a little bit of baggage. What are you hearing there? And I know you talked to Pickens yesterday, and I thought he was great. I mean, I thought he said all the right things, but have you heard people a little nervous about perhaps the baggage he brings?
So I haven't heard that from any Cowboys people, but, you know, when you talk to people that cover the Steelers, you know, they mention some of the things that you're going to have to deal with and things like that. And who knows, maybe a change of scenery changes him a little bit. And, you know, that's the thing in December when Mike Tomlin said that Pickens has to grow up, you know, and so I think that is the case. It's not really grow up in terms of, you know, off the field getting into trouble. It's grow up in terms of, you know, you've done some things in games that doesn't help your team, and you're kind of a target by the opponent because they kind of feel like there's a good chance we can draw you off sides with some things. Like you got to look beyond that. You got to be the bigger guy here and look for the good of the team type thing. And so I think a change is probably good for him. And I think obviously playing with Dak Prescott, that's going to be, you know, the best quarterback, probably the best leader he's been around. And so I think that there's a lot of reasons to think that, hey, it might be different in Dallas. But yeah, the people that I've talked to said that, yeah, there's going to be some things you probably have to deal with. But if there wasn't, you probably are going to have to give up a first-round pick for a guy as talented as him.
Definitely. Jon Machota from The Athletic here on the Blitz. We had Brooke Pryor on the day of the trade. She covers the Steelers for ESPN, and she talked about some of the reasons why Mike Tomlin would want to get rid of you, because that was my first question. Like, there's a lot of organizations out there, change of scenery makes sense. With the Steelers, you feel like if Mike Tomlin's given up on you, I'm looking at the player, not the organization. We also had Wade Phillips this week, and he reminded us when he was head coach, Terrell Owens, and obviously the baggage he has, and, you know, it's about creating the environment. With a rookie head coach and Brian Schottenheimer, do you think he is a strong enough leader to handle some of that baggage that is coming with the George Pickens?
I think he is. I think they are putting a strong culture around George Pickens to give you success. But even with that being said, you can have the best coaching staff and you can have the best teammates around him. And hey, maybe there's just a player that you add that doesn't want to grow up. And so, hey, it's a 1-year thing and then you move on from him. You know, for me and how boring this team has gotten, especially over the last probably 2 years, you know, to compete with the Eagles and the aggressive teams in the NFL, you got to take some chances. And so, yeah, there is a chance that this doesn't work out. And a year from now, he's not on the Cowboys team. But what if it does? Because to me, without this move, what other moves are they making? And without any other moves, that roster looks like it's about 7 or 8 wins. So if this is a disaster and it leads to them winning 5 games, what's really the big difference? But it could catapult you to you're a playoff team and maybe get out at the right time.
You know, John, and I look at this thing, and I think Jason agrees. When you look at that offense right now with the two wide receivers, with Jake Ferguson, I think with the running back room that I'm thrilled with. I think Javonte Williams is underrated, certainly, and I think he's going to be a good player for the Cowboys. And you got Jaden Blue to kind of thunder and lightning scenario there. I think this offense is set and is going to be explosive.
Yeah, my only question marks, well, one, obviously Dak has to be healthy.
Yeah.
He has to stay healthy all season. So that would be number one for me. Number two for me would be you're going to need better play from your offensive tackles, Steele and Guyton. And then three for me would be figuring out whoever is going to be your top guy or two in the running back room. And it could be Williams, it could be Blue, it could be a combination. Maybe they work in a little Miles Sanders and Phil Maffa. I think those four are going to be what they go with. From what I've heard, they're not all that interested in doing the free agency thing right now. A lot of people talk about Nick Chubb and that. Doesn't sound like that they're going to do that. It sounds like they're pretty good with what they have now, and they're going to figure that out, in training camp and in the preseason. But yeah, they need those. If those offensive tackles are good and you can give Dak time and keep him clean, yeah, there's a lot of potential on this offense, because then it also, it knocks Jalen Tolbert down to being a number 3 or Mingo or Kevontae Turpin, and it gives you a lot of different things you can work with at wide receiver. So yeah, it puts the offense in a really good spot where, to be honest with you, before this deal got done, I was thinking this is shaping up to being a team where they're going to run the football a lot, try and play good defense and hang in there. Now I'm like, well, you don't add George Pickens with CeeDee Lamb to just run the football. I mean, this adds another element to what Schottenheimer's going to have to work with on Sundays.
Jon Machota from The Athletic here on the Blitz. Now, that said, still some questions on defense, but at least it feels like there's the firepower on offense to be scoring around 30 points a game. And we've seen this before in Dallas where they can score 30 a game and still lose because the defense was bad. I don't think this defense is that bad, but still needs some work. Do you expect Jerry to figure out another move or two to make here before we get to training camp out in Oxnard?
If there is going to be one, I would think corner would be the other one in play, and that all goes off of just where you think Savon Ravel's knee health is. Obviously, Diggs is knee health, and then what you have in Elam, and then can you get a year or two step up from Kalen Carson? If you don't feel confident about any of those things, or I should say, if you don't feel confident about all of those things, I think you are another veteran corner away from being done on with your defensive roster. And so that's the one spot I look at. I know people have said defensive tackle, but it would not surprise me at all if the 4 defensive tackles that are playing on these Sundays this season are basically Mozzie Smith, Osa Odighizuwa, Solomon Thomas, and Jay Toya that they drafted this year. So I know defensive tackle doesn't look like, maybe it's not the greatest spot, but I think that they feel solid there. Corner's the one that I'm looking at, that if they're to make another move, maybe it's to sign a veteran like a Stephon Gilmore on a 1-year deal or something like that. But corner would be the one that I said, if there's a move to be made, that would be it.
John, let me ask you, you bring up Trayvon Diggs, and obviously the injuries have been bad, and he's dealing with another bad one. And I think if I'm not mistaken, and please correct me if I'm wrong, the Cowboys can ride this year through him, and then he would be not that expensive to let go. Do you think he's long for Dallas, honestly?
He could be. I think it all depends on what comes back on this latest knee injury, how he rehabs from it. That's the thing that clearly they want to see him rehab the right way. And I don't think there's any question if he's healthy that they feel confident about the player he can be on the field, but he has to rehab, to the level where he gets back to being, a good starting caliber corner. If not, then you are right. They can move away after this season. And it wouldn't surprise me if they do, if that's what the case is. If he doesn't come back all the way healthy, or he comes back and he deals with another knee setback or something else, then you probably have to go another direction, because that's just, you need good corners in this league. There's plenty of positions where I'm like, you can be solid at, but you have to have good corners. And obviously they're paying him to be a good corner.
Jon Machota from The Athletic here on the Blitz, staying on the defensive side. And, it's in the rules. We always have to ask about Micah Parsons, but I'm not going to ask about his contract. I'm going to ask about his tweeting. Are you at all surprised that you haven't seen a tweet from him in a couple of days, and there was no tweet welcoming George Pickens to the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah, no, I am. If I'm being completely honest with you, yeah. and from several players not seeing that. I'm like, oh, okay. That's just the times we live in now, where we read into those things. It is interesting to me because Micah's pretty out there with whatever was on his mind, and so this should be interesting to see how it is. I don't know. I mean, they have to know each other at least a little bit. They have the same agent, so in that conference call we had yesterday with George Pickens, he said that he knows CD pretty well from their training together in the off season. So at least there's some knowing of each other there. But yeah, it is interesting because I know a lot of people think that, when you make a move like this, that the ownership is going to consult with its top players and things like that. And I'm just kind of like, nah, not necessarily. If they want to get a deal done, they're going to get a deal done, even if that means shaking things up in the locker room. But yeah, I don't necessarily think that Micah doesn't like the move, but I did think that Micah would have something to say in the 24, 48 hours following the move.
Yeah, because that's pretty typical for him to say something, either welcome to Dallas or something. Anything could be small as that. I want to ask you, John, we got the NFL sent out a strength of schedule today, and the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Giants, and the Commanders are all in the top 10. It's going to be a tough schedule, at least based on last year, for all of those teams in the NFC East.
It is, and, I wouldn't be surprised if Washington ended up being, in 2025, the Texans of 2024, where it's like, it's solid, but it's not what it was the year before that, obviously from the rookie quarterback play. But I mean, I think that they'll be good, but I don't think there's any questioning that Philadelphia is still the class of the NFC East. So that's the thing. Like, I don't think this move closes. I mean, it closes the gap, but I don't think that the Cowboys are caught up to the Eagles at all. And so, it doesn't surprise me that that's what it is right now. I knew when the schedule was finalized after the season ended that, the Cowboys were shaping up to have a pretty tough schedule. Now, of course, injuries happen and other things like that. Who knows what happens once the season starts and that. But, that's why Vegas was saying before this deal that I think the over-under was set at 7.5 wins for this Cowboys team. And that's very, very low for a Cowboys team. Usually it's at least around 9.
Absolutely. No, when the schedule comes out, obviously you're got to be a little selfish because of where you're traveling and what time of year. But what are the first couple of things you look at? Is it primetime games or the potential cold weather games?
Yeah, for me, it's always potential cold weather games. I mean, it's just one of those things that I always saw. I mean, selfishly, because I hate the cold myself, but just being around Mike McCarthy for the last several years and the way he would talk about the Cowboys being, a built to be like a dome team because, even though they can open the roof, they don't very often. And so their home games are in a dome. And so you get used to playing like that. Obviously, the weather's good in Texas most of the year. And so it's usually not best for the Cowboys to be playing, Philadelphia, at Washington or at New York in December. So those would be the ones that certainly stand out to me, when those division games are and which ones are the potential cold weather outdoor games that you're going to have to deal with late in the season.
Really, the only other one besides the division teams is Denver. They've got to travel to Denver and
Chicago.
And Chicago. So those two you got to bear watching for sure.
Yeah, Chicago could be an interesting one because to me, obviously the weather is a factor there, and then they're right on Lake Michigan. But I mean, Chicago's building its roster to be like, we're going to try and outscore teams by 40, and we might not be able to stop anybody, but let's just get in a track meet. So that could be interesting to see how that whole thing works out. So maybe it wouldn't be a bad thing to play them in December. I don't know, but they've certainly put a lot of pieces around Caleb Williams. So, and then having Ben Johnson calling plays, it looks like an offense is going to put up a lot of points. So maybe playing them in December isn't the worst thing.
Jon Machota from The Athletic on Twitter at Jon Machota. You tweeted about 30 minutes ago, looking for Cowboy questions for a mailbag that will publish Monday morning. What are some of the oddball questions that you get when you put out a tweet like that?
To be honest with you, there aren't really that too many. I mean, there'll be random stuff about Jerry and things like that, but Usually people, especially after a move like this, that's the reason I'm doing one, is because the interest is back a little bit, Like I said, they've been getting boring. And so I do think that fans, there is a lot of interest with the team. So I imagine that there'll be some really good questions. The things that always stand out to me are just like, there's just certain players on the team that people will ask about because they think they're about out the door. And there'll be guys that I'll just be like, the team thinks way more of them than you do. Like Terrence Steele's a good example. People just think that the Cowboys are constantly looking to just replace him. And it's like, no, they think a little bit more of him than to put Austin Richards as the other, starting tackle over there. So, but no, usually it's been pretty good, especially, and then it's on the Athletic website too. So if there's anything too inappropriate, I'm pretty sure those all get flagged.
John, let me ask you a quick question, because there was a report that this George Pickens deal may have been more Steven than Jerry. Is Steven starting to assert himself a little more with decisions like this now? Is that starting to take place?
Yeah, but I also think it's just because every year that goes by, obviously Jerry's getting older and he's not, like, do we really think Jerry knows everybody that's the whole draft class? You know what I'm saying? Like, Steven's doing the stuff on the day-to-day. I mean, he's in that position. And so I think Jerry signs off on everything still. I mean, he still is the final say, but he's going to listen to Steven and Will McClay way more than he probably ever listened to anybody else, just because of where his age is at, and also because there's probably a lot of things that he's wanted to do over the last, 5 to 10 years, and it didn't work out. And so I also know that he has the plan in place of, if he was to pass, that everything's in place for whatever the succession will be with the Cowboys. And so naturally that'll be Stephen Jones running things. And so, yeah, I mean, this is my 15th year covering the Cowboys, and I feel like pretty much for the last 10 years, each year it's shifted more and more to where, Stephen's more, he's more involved, calling the shots more than he ever was. But I still would not say that he is just doing stuff and making moves like a George Pickens move without Jerry giving it the final blessing.
Gotcha.
Interesting. John, I got a mailbag question for you. I'm gonna do it like a mailbag. Did Jerry do the George Pickens move only because Kyle Brandt said he was boring and described the Cowboys as Tupperware the day before?
Well, I would hope that Jerry would have done it, not because of that, but because he's been reading me and others who cover the team on a day-to-day that have been saying that for months. But no, I get it. I understand how the TV stuff is the one that moves the headlines. But no, I think that Jerry, you can even go back to the Schottenheimer press conference. Like, it was very early on in there that he was really trying to stick to some talking points, that he was getting annoyed about how so many of us wrote about how this is kind of a boring move and this isn't what you expect from the Cowboys, and Jerry's lost his fastball. And so he wanted to really put it out there early on that he still is the risk taker. He still is the wildcatter, that, Brian Schottenheimer's never been a head coach before. So, this is as big as a risk as I can take. And I'm just like, nobody had even asked him a question about risk taking, but it's very clear. He knows what's being said and things like that. And so, and hey, let's be honest. He also knows the business side of it. Jersey sales are probably down. He's probably going to sell a bunch of George Pickens jerseys.
Wow.
Yeah, very, very true.
Interesting.
At Jon Machota on Twitter. John, enjoy your weekend.
I will. You guys do the same.
Appreciate it. Make sure you guys subscribe to The Athletic. And he's asking for mailbag questions. Get the good ones in there.
Send them in.
Absolutely. It's good stuff. Jon Machota and all our guests on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. A couple of games in the NBA playoffs tonight. Cavs at Pacers. Our coverage begins in about 25 minutes here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. You want to have more fun watching those games? Make money? Play the Pick'em game at Underdog. You could score cash as they're scoring buckets, and I'm looking at the late game tonight and thinking about OKC Denver the other night and what SGA did. Right now, higher, lower, 32.5 points are for the Joker. And I like doing Pick'em entries like this. Points, rebounds, and assists, 51.5. Higher or lower for Joker. Again, points, rebounds, and assists. You build your Pick'em entry. Get creative, just choosing higher or lower on predicted stats on one of the leading sports apps out there to make your sports picks. You can play for as little as $1. So download the Underdog app, sign up using my promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, promo code STAR at Underdog. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, it is indeed lottery day. Grab your lucky charms. We'll see what happens with the Spurs.
And how did the weekend treat the playoff teams? We'll talk about that. So much more. Morning Huddle starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Looking for a place with character, cold drinks, and real Texas charm? Pull up a chair at the Lion and Rose in the Dominion. This local favorite, run by the Tharp family, serves up Southern hospitality, military pride, and seriously good food. Happy hour daily from 3 till 7 p.m. with $2.50 drafts, select wine, wells, and mimosas. Plus, tasty bites from just $5. Big screens, bold flavors, and a patio made for post-game hangs. Now open at 23330 West I-10. The Lion and Rose.
You know the Rue Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Rue Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Rue Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Rue.
Gentlemen, testosterone levels can start dropping in your 30s, leading to low energy, reduced libido, and slower metabolism. Rock's Discount Vitamins is making it easy to take back control. No appointments and no prescriptions. Just head into a Rock's and walk out with a natural solution tailored to you. Our powerful line of natural testosterone boosters can help increase energy, build muscle, rev up your metabolism, and reignite your drive. You'll feel the difference and fast. Visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God in South Texas.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. Divorce is tough. It's emotional, challenging, and can upend everything you've worked hard for. But here's the truth. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control and protect your financial future. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about protecting what you've built, securing your assets, and ensuring you have the resources to move forward with confidence. You've worked hard for everything you have, and we're here to help safeguard it and avoid unnecessary losses. If you're serious about protecting yourself through the divorce process and securing your future, Barton & Associates is the team you need by your side. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ. That's JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. You can always subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. If you're just getting near and you're trying to figure out old TV shows you might want to watch, there's a gazillion of them commented there
on
YouTube. Interesting story, and it's so late on a Friday. And I think in the business, in the business, they call this a Friday news dump.
Yep.
Sports Illustrated has an article. Sources: NCAA considering removing ban on pro sports betting. The prohibition against gambling on college sports would remain in place for athletes, coaches, and staff members. But you know what, boys? If you guys want to bet on the NFL or the NBA, go ahead.
Boy, that's a slippery slope, isn't it? I mean, they're going to have to watch them and then, well, did we bet on the pros or did they bet on college? I mean, that's a slippery slope. I mean, it really is.
You know, the fact that they've got the technology to catch you if you're on whatever app you have when you're inside of a building, maybe it's not as slippery, but advertising works, right?
Yeah.
All of us here can pay our mortgages and our bills because advertising works. Every TV station, all these leagues, and the amount of money those TV contracts are. And when they changed the rules and started accepting gambling dollars in these leagues, that changes everything. So when you look at, and it's got to suck, because Texas hasn't gotten on board yet. Dan Patrick. Like I'm in Phoenix next week. Now, granted, Phoenix Suns are out, but I'm going to the Disturb show. They're playing where the Suns play. You know what they have in there? They have the FanDuel Sports Bar.
Yep.
And I could go in there, even if the Suns aren't playing, I can make a bet on something.
Yep.
You start doing that, and you realize this stuff works. People want to play. It's fun if you do it responsibly. And you should. But to think that college athletes don't want to play underdog, don't want to go on Prize Picks, FanDuel, whatever, DraftKings, all of them, or coaches for that matter. I mean, my goodness, you can't even get into an NCAA tournament bracket in college. Now, that would still be there because that's college basketball. But to have a little action on an NFL or NBA game, and you're in college, if you're a college coach, if you work in the building, it's 2025. And the technology seems to be good enough that you're probably going to get caught if you're doing something that you're not supposed to.
Well, then do you allow pros to bet on college? I mean, it's going to go to that. So you can't bet on any pro teams, but you can bet on college teams. So, I mean, it works both ways, does it not?
And here's the thing. Like, if you're an NFL player, I get why the NFL does not want you betting on an NFL game.
Sure, I get that.
Why does it matter if you're an NFL player and you bet on a basketball game? If you're an NBA player, you should, if you want to bet the NFL, go for it. So it is big risk, obviously, but, we're not looking at point shaving scandals like what we've had before. And it just seems like everybody that gets caught, they get caught because of the technology that is already in use. So if the technology is there to catch you doing this now, and you were to make it a little bit easier for these guys, and I say easier, like you can't do this, but you can do that. And it's just not a blanket, you can't gamble at all. I think in 2025, it's probably something they need to consider because it feels like the technology is there to protect, in this case, college athletics and college players and coaches from betting on college sports.
Well, I tell you, they're going to have to develop that because it'd be real easy when you're in that app, whatever one you're using, to just, they'll never know. I play for the Cowboys. We're playing the Giants. I'm going to bet on us today. I mean, that technology's got to be there, and it's got to be solid. So, or Tennessee's playing Alabama, and I'm going to bet on us. Tennessee, we're going to beat them. Wow. You're going to lose, but I mean,
as long as you're betting on yourself, Pete Rose, you're okay.
I guess so.
The other part of it too. Back in the day, we protected college kids because they had no money.
Yeah.
Now these dudes have a whole lot of money in the NIL.
A lot of them do, yeah.
And maybe they're looking at, hey, why can't I?
Quick way to blow it, huh?
Well, I mean, it depends. But I don't know. The fact that they're at least talking about it seems very progressive for the NCAA.
Yeah.
Now, the fact that it comes out on a Friday afternoon, are they just trying to see what the tea leaves are saying before it goes any further?
Absolutely. That was, that's happening. You put it out there, you see if you get criticized or you get support for it or whatever the case may be. And just going back to this, to the state of Texas and all the other states that don't allow legalized sports gambling. I mean, it's time. Every state in this country, and it needs to be, you talk about having politicians do something, it needs to be federalized. It has to be, because it's just dumb, in my opinion. Because I'm not ashamed to tell you, I make bets every day.
Yeah.
State of Texas doesn't get a penny of that.
Breaking the law.
I guess. I think it's perfectly legal.
It is.
But you know what? The state of Texas gets nothing out of that. And it's just ridiculous at this point in time that they want to hold our hands in Austin and say, you can't do that, young man. You're not responsible enough.
Is that your old lady voice?
That's it.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, good.
You whippersnappers.
I wasn't sure what happened there.
I mean, it's ridiculous. And we had that guy on from wherever the hell he was on that's against it, and it's like, well, you're going to go home and beat your wife. Dude, my wife would kick my ass.
Well, she would.
Yes, so I'm not, no worries there.
I just look at the idea, and you're right, it is opening up a can of worms, but they're already, the technology is there. According to Sports Illustrated, in their quarterly report, the International Betting Integrity Association.
Oh, my God.
Didn't know the IBIA was actually not a league. Flagged 6 basketball games in the United States in the first quarter of 2025 for suspicious betting patterns. Specific games were not disclosed. Flagged 5 basketball games in the U.S. in all of 2024, along with 2 in Canada and 1 in Mexico. So in some of the props, if you get players involved, again, there are ways now in that guys can impact that, and we've seen that. Very few, but those guys get caught because there's groups out there that are following all of this. So you might get away with it for a while, like everybody that is doing something wrong, but eventually you're going to get caught. And the fact that the NCAA is saying, you know what, if you guys want to bet on pro sports, maybe we need to look at it and let that happen.
Yeah, well, hey, why not? The problem, and I think with a lot of college kids, at least it used to be this way, and I know everybody likes to place a little bit of a bet or two from time to time, but it's like it's not necessarily the athletes themselves. It's the athletes that get approached by other people was the threat, right? So, hey, I'm going to bet $5,000 on this game. If you throw it, I'll split it with you, or I'll give you $1,000, or whatever the case may be. I don't think that's really an issue anymore because these players are getting paid. But
well, and again, point shaving stuff, and to a degree, yeah. I mean, and the reality is, to think that the college guy isn't finding his local bookie friend, he might not be doing it on his phone.
They're still out there.
I'm just saying.
They are still out there and will continue to be out there. Politicians in Texas making money and not paying taxes on it, and you won't get a dime. And so they're out there, and they're going to continue to be very, very wealthy and lucrative.
Oklahoma City, Denver, Game 3. Oklahoma City just flat out destroys Denver. They scored 87 in the first half the other night. Now they're going to Denver. Bounce back game for the Nuggets in your mind, or does Oklahoma City go in on and get a nice road win?
Well, Oklahoma City may win the game, but I think it's going to be close. I think Denver's going to be ready to play. They were embarrassed in Game 2, and I think they're going to be ready to play. And the fact that they're 5.5-point dogs at home, it just baffles me. I know Oklahoma City's good, but Denver's not bad. And that kind of baffles me in a Game 3 that obviously Denver's going to be a little more desperate tonight than they were in Game 2.
It'll be interesting. Joker has to have a big bounce-back game.
Sure he does.
But, man, SGA, dude. I like the Thunder, although I've been on the Thunder to win the title all year. Coming up next here on 94.1, Pacers-Cavs. Game 3, Indiana leads 2-0. Indiana's at home, and they are 5.5-point underdogs.
Well, you talk about a desperate team. That's the Boston Celtics. They have to win tonight. Well, it's not a must-win. All right, it's not.
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
pretty,
they do.
It's pretty damn close to a must-win game for them.
Did Joe Reinagle just call a Game 3 a must-win?
I did not.
You did. You caught yourself, but you did.
It's not a must-win game. It's not. But what if they lose tonight? They've lost 3 in a row. What are the chances of them winning 4 straight to win this series? I mean, it's tough right now. They got to win 4 out of 5 as it stands right now.
Are you kidding? The Knicks are saying tomorrow is a must-win game.
They are?
Well, I mean, yeah. Game 3 winner's going to win the series. That's what they're saying.
Who's saying that?
Well, Shaq said that last night. Yeah, Shaq. I mean, the Knicks are up 2-0.
Look, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, well, again, and if Boston were to win tomorrow afternoon at the Garden,
would not surprise me if Boston still wins this series. But, just think about it, Missoula. All right, just think about it. All right, I'm not saying you have to do it because I know it's what you do. You might want to, if they're not falling tomorrow afternoon, you might want to drive and just get a 2. How about just a 2? It's better than a goose egg.
That's not what the analytics say.
I don't give a damn what they say. When you've missed 105 3-pointers, you might want to try something else.
The San Antonio Spurs in the draft lottery. That lottery is happening on Monday. The Blitz is going to be live at the Rue Pub, 281 and Redland Road, and we're doing it again. If the Spurs end up with the number 1 pick, the Rue Pub is going to pay your open tab. Woo! So plan to get to the Rue Monday early.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
This is